You can start now.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rishna Naik from third year CSC Department AIT. It is my great pleasure to warmly welcome all the respected faculty members, dignitaries, and the participants to today's session of the ATAL Online Faculty Development Program on Digital Forensic in Cybersecurity, organized by the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Advanced Institute of Engineering and Technology. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed resource person for today's session, Mr. Shivaling Salakki, a program manager, industry and startups with a strong experience in program management, strategy and ecosystem development. He has worked extensively with the industry, startups, and government stakeholders contributing to the creation of win collaboration and strengthening cybersecurity governance initiatives. Mr. Salakki has previously served at CySecK, Karnataka State of a Center of Excellence in Cybersecurity, and also held leadership roles as the manager, strategy and revenue, co-founder of Windas Private Limited, and industrial engineer at Tata Advanced Materials Limited. He brings a balanced blend of technical expertise, strategic thinking, and real-world industry experience to his session. We are honored to have you with us today, sir. I have invited Mr. Shivaling Salakki to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Firstly, I would like to start with thanking Dr. Manjunath for this kind invitation to be a resource person for this wonderful FDP. I'm hopeful that the next 1.5 hours is going to be fruitful for all of you. So just checking about, is it echoing?
No, sir. No, I
It's
think
good.
someone. Shall I mute all people once or any interaction session is there? Because some people, whenever they join, they will start with the mic only. That is why there is a disturbance. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I will mute all in such cases. No issues, sir.
Sure, sir. Okay.
So any screen sharing, you need, sir? I already made you as a presenter in this account.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So I believe in the last few days of FDP, you already got a basic idea, a good foundational idea of what cybersecurity domain involves, what is security deals with, what are the skill sets, what are the basic current trends, and etc. So in my session, I'll try to keep it very focused on what is relevant in the industry today in terms of career pathway, trends, placements, hiring, so that you as a faculty can go back and transcend this information, knowledge which gained here with your student fraternity. So they get motivated, encouraged, and aware about cybersecurity. The only reason I feel cybersecurity is uh, seen as taboo is because of lack of awareness. Today, many students feel cybersecurity is all about ethical hacking. In a dark room, wearing a black hoodie, going into dark web and all that. No, security today is a boardroom topic, right from secure code practices to secure engineering, secure by design, secure by architecture approach. So it's one of the key critical discussions in all boardrooms. When I say boardrooms, it involves managing very top management decisions. Okay. With that, I'll try to share my screen and. Is it visible now? Can you?
Yes, sir,
Can
yeah.
somebody?
Everyone can. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Once again, welcome to all of you and myself, Shivaling Salakki. I work as program manager for industry and startups vertical at COE CySecK. To speak about Cybersecurity Center of Excellence, it's an initiative by Department of Electronics, IT, BT, and SNT, stands for Information Technology, Biotechnology, and Science and Technology, under the Department of Government of Karnataka. We've been into operations since 2019, and from there on, it's been 6 years, and we have transitioned to various capacities. Earlier, it was only focused for serving as only for government advisory and all that. Later, it got into skill building. In the current phase, which we call it as phase 3, where ISC is our implementation agency, so housed inside IISc. We have five-year agreement signed between IISc, Indian Institute of Science, and GOK, Department of ITBT, GOK. There is an agreement signed for next 5 years. So 2025 April to 2030 March, we have a clear visibility funding to run our operations. Coming to 4 key pillars, you can also note down that is skill building. We focus on skill building in the domain of cyber security. Firstly, we start with faculty development programs because faculty development programs are very, very critical. We feel it's a trainer model. They have cascading effect. Second is finishing school program where we take 7 some students to train them, acquaint them with very hands-on, practical cybersecurity foundational skills so that they become industry ready. It's a 4 to 5 week long program. It's every day in-person program from morning 9 to 5, 6 p.m. like that. Excuse me, thanks to bad weather, I have a bad throat and dry cough. Please excuse me for any hiccups. Coming back to where I paused. So the finishing school is our flagship program because we at the after the 3-4 weeks of very intensive training, what we also do is we try to place them with internship opportunities, placement opportunities with relevant industry opportunities. Okay. Now, coming to other programs, we have in the same skill building vertical, we have MOOC, massive open online courses, placement internships, boot camp, and CTF challenges, capture the flag competition. This is about first vertical called skill building. Second vertical is industry and startups, where I lead as program manager. We have dedicated startup program to help cybersecurity startups. Third is research and development. We work with Department of ESC in IISc, working on setting up a hardware security lab. Various research proposals are being taken up. Fourth vertical is government capacity building, where we work on policy advocacy for government of Karnataka. We had drafted cybersecurity policy for Karnataka state, which was launched and during the last year. So cybersecurity policy is active now for the next 5 years, but it is for entire state.
Excuse me, sir. Whether you moved the slide, sir, or first still in
No, sir, I'm moving to the next. So right now I will speak.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fourth vertical also deals with awareness, capacity building program, workshops for government offices, government departments, so that their security posture is increased. So that's in a nutshell what we do. Apart from that, we are also building cyber range project, which I'll speak at the end of the session. Okay. Till now, if any questions, are we good to get into what today's topic? Okay, I assume we're good. So firstly, why cybersecurity market is important? Because firstly, huge demand, both domestic and international. You take any reports for the last 2-3 years, McKinsey, Data Security Council of India, METI report. You also find the World Economic Forum. They also publish every annual reports. Everywhere, in every scope, cybersecurity is one of the key skills required. Cybersecurity as a sector, as a market, is huge, with highest number of jobs, unfilled jobs, which it has. Right? Also, additionally, it is with statistics, it is one of the top 3 highest paid jobs in the current market, current scenario. Second thing, it's high paid and less skilled hands. So today, if you see why there is that gap is only highly because cybersecurity was not taken conventionally seriously, right? Firstly, having a HR team, accounts team, admin team, IT development team, quality team, all these were taken as priority. Security was never taken seriously, right? And very lately, with so much attacks coming in, so many incidents happening of cyber incidents, so many ransomware attacks, it has been mandated that security is taken as a priority now. Okay, right from beginning of any IT product, any web application, mobile application, any software product, security is by design. So there is, if you have recently heard of DevSecOps, development security operations has been a new term of late. Okay. Coming, what is the third most trigger point I feel globally for cybersecurity rise is various regulatory compliance things coming in. Okay, DPDP Act, Digital Privacy Protection Act. Apart from that, RBI, Reserve Bank of India, Security Exchange Board of India, Indian Regulatory Authority for Insurance. All these have come to so many guidelines, right? Anybody dealing with any customer money, they have to go with high compliance, high regulatory requirements they have to meet. Otherwise, it attracts high penalties. Okay, so all the organizations, private entities, even government entities are bound to comply. Otherwise, they have to pay heavy penalties. Okay, and in today's competitive world, for private players especially, it is very competitive. They, it's not just about punitive action, but if customer trust is gone, from that day itself, their decline rate has decline day has started, right? So they cannot risk about their reputation going down for a cyber attack or data theft. So that's why many companies are taking it very seriously. Now, in general, I feel cybersecurity is ubiquitous, Cosmo, because it cuts across all the technologies sectors equally, right? Be it quantum, blockchain, AI, data science, right? If you see the very foundational pillars of cybersecurity is CI triad they call, right? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So the three pillars, the science of these three pillars putting together is called cybersecurity. Let's say AI application which you use, if it is not integrated, I mean, if it's losing integrity, let's say if you type some secure personal question with a open LLM or any software, right? It could, be it Gemini or anything, Meta. If you type and if it's uh, getting to open hands and somebody is able to access what data, what are you typing, what are you interacting with the system, in the same day, it will also be stop being used by users. Correct. Coming to availability and in confidentiality, it has to maintain that data intact, giving right information, giving any not tamper proof data. So that is called availability and integrity. So, and in fact, confidentiality. So all this science is called cybersecurity. Coming lastly, with emerging technologies, AI, cloud computing, machine learning, it has enhanced with the cyber criminals to use all these new technologies to launch new scale of attacks. Today's cyber attack can be offered as a organized crime, right? For example, if you have any hatred against any particular organization and you approach to one of this group, you can pay them and they will attack a systematic cyber attack on that organization, on that institute, or even the state countries. Correct. You see recently saw in the Russia-Ukraine attack, also India, Pakistan during the tension times of at border. Even the Khalistani group is very active. Even during the Raman, there was reported 78 every minute. Every minute there were nearly 70,000 attacks on the live streaming of Raman there. So such cases have enhanced with the need for cybersecurity, basically, right? Sorry. Coming to cybersecurity scope, you can see that this is just yesterday's poster which I used. Today's trend says 40% of the campus hire in the last one and a half year are in the space of AI and cybersecurity alone, right? And it is no surprise. That is why I think the highest intake today also is in any engineering colleges belongs to IT domain or computer science. I just visiting BMS IT Global Academy last 3 days. The whole the strength of computer science department itself is two-thirds of the entire college. Remaining all civil, mechanical, electrical core branches, they're shrinking down to one-third, all collectively. Computer science alone has taken such a major portion. And in that, most colleges today are creating a separate branch for cybersecurity, AI, data science, and all that. And that is, it is evident with the numbers. Now, this is one of the things you can also see how much attractive it is in terms of salaries. And that is why more and more students are getting opted and paying high fees, management fees, etc., to grab a seat in any good colleges to get certified so that they can kickstart their career in cybersecurity. Also, third posted in the down, you can see of McKinsey report, right? You can also see how year-wise each investment, investment in the sector in cybersecurity domain is increasing, $80 billion, and each job postings year by year it's also increasing, 7 to 8% every quarter. It is increasing in the cybersecurity domain. Okay, which are the hot sectors? Undoubtedly, finance and BFSI. BFSI stands for banking, financial service, and insurance. There's obvious reason because for any cyber threat actor or any cyber crook, there are primary 3 4 motives. One, financial, to gain some quick some funds and get away. Second is data theft, because data is also the new oil or new currency. Third is people do it for fantasy, craze, fame, etc. Right? So that's why finance is today the most attacked or what to say, attack prone sector undoubtedly today. Next best is telecom. Telecom becomes a platform for these cyber attackers to attack a launch on victims through call, right? Internet, WhatsApp, Telegram. All these are the platforms which are for the ISPs. ISP stands for Internet Service Providers, which are Jio, BSNL, Airtel, Vodafone, all this in the current. As you know, Airtel has recently also started blocking the DNS through a DNS source. They block any criminal or risky websites automatically. They're I can say successful to certain extent, but not 100%. Okay, because the signatures each time they profile keep changing. The threat intelligence has to be very active. All they cannot keep it up. Third sector, focus sector is healthcare, because healthcare data is found to be very, very critical, very, very secure, because as per our preamble, our digital laws also, healthcare data is highly private, like PII, personally identifiable information, which cannot be disclosed to anybody apart from the patient, without the patient authorization. That's why it becomes very critical. Healthcare data has a huge market. It is sold in a dark web at very, very high price in cryptocurrency. It's traded. Okay. Coming to fourth sector is technology development, because it's obviously they are the enablers, they are the scaling, they help in scaling any of the businesses today, right? Today, any business want to scale, they cannot be offline. They had to be online. And online, when you say, as long as you're connected with network, cyber, internet, everybody is prone to attacks. Fourth is e-commerce, new commerce, because by default it is I would say one of the I would say highly scaled, highly intense market today. I think many of even my family in my home, I used to think it very unusual, but my family prefers buying everything online, vegetables to groceries, everything. I'm sure this is the trend everywhere. Uh, and that has incepted a new breed of attacks like OTP attacks, a wrong delivery, clicking up the what to say, OTP, pin code attacks, etc. So many new breed of cyber attacks have been coming. Finally, government, defense, and critical public infrastructure is the hot sector, because for attackers who do it for fame, to forget the sake of getting adrenaline rush, these people attack critical infrastructures. Okay, like power sector, water supply, any of the defense units. They attack or ransomware attack government websites, right? Especially the Pakistani attackers, what we call Bangladesh attackers. For fun, they want to uh, abuse the government domain websites. This is the prime. This also gives an idea of how these attacks. Just a minute. Is this audible?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, correct. Okay. So this is about the typical conventional domains which were attracting. Right now, the current emerging sectors have very new. So everywhere I go, I meet so many CISOs, Chief Information Security Officers, industry leaders, directors of various companies. The whole domain is shifting. Right now, it was all ICT attack, right? Like telecom, information security, information infrastructure attacks, cloud security attacks, and all. But these days, there's increasing breed of attacks, whole new level of attacks on hardware security, like automotive security, because this is many cars are self-driven, network connected, e-connected, right? Every piece of device, any smart device you take, whether it be it a Bluetooth connected speaker, it's a Wi-Fi connected automotive drone, everything are being systematically attacked because of the gaps and using the frequencies. And it has become a very challenge for a huge challenge for all the manufacturing companies, etc. How to stop them, right? If you know of a recent one of the attacks, for example, this could be good example. Israel attacked all the Iranian officers through pager, right? uh, it, it 3-4 months it was a buzz, right? When Israel and this was happening, how systematically they programmed and use that to launch an attack on the pagers. What they did is simply they ran a malware which used to run 10x faster, consuming the battery, and because of the heavy load on battery, it got exploded. So there's few attacks. Apart from that, in industry, the buzz today is IoT, Internet of Things, right? I'm more than me, you'll be knowing well, because you work with a lot of IoT sensor devising, programming for IoT devices, how it can be regulated. Because let's say manufacturing, a conveyor is working in an industry setup. Just by regulating high speed, how it can be fatal. And imagine and please understand, all the attacks on IT systems can only be financial or business losses. But whereas an attack on a systematic attack on hardware security and operational technologies, OTF stands for operational technology, like microprocessor, microcontrollers. Attack on these segments can not just be financial loss, but it can be fatal. It can be human loss, right? Just imagine a high conveyor, a high-speed rotor belt, or any rotor or any motor which is running. If you by supplying high power and giving more frequency, if it crosses FOS, factor of safety, it will whole break. It will entirely blast. correct? And there have been so many systems cases which has happened in China, and China has been known for such things. They have attacked, and this minor, smaller countries, smaller states have been a victim of this. And right now, in the COE CySecK also, we have set up a hardware security lab, which works on chip level vulnerabilities. Like if anybody has induced deliberately any chips, okay, any algorithm, it can be decoded from using chip algorithm also. So that lab which we have set up a side channel analysis called SEA, and we also procured a fault injection equipment. Both serve the same purpose, finding chip level vulnerabilities based on the cryptographic simulations. Only thing is, SCA, side chain analysis attack, gives a non-destructive way of doing things, whereas fault injection gives the destructive way of it. Gives high intensity radiations to find the vulnerabilities. Apart from that, PQC has been AI attacks is obviously, as you know, AI security has become a very buzzing word everywhere, because AI has been equally been used by both defenders and offenders, and it has helped to scale the ease of how attack can be simulated, right? In just a simple command prompt, you can create a similar website, very impromptu, impersonating website. It looks as good as Microsoft design systematically, any organization's systematic card it has given. Plus, I saw your AI these days is giving a PAN card of people who do not even exist, Aadhaar card with a unique code, everything it is able to try, duplicate. Imagine how it is going, how much chaos it is going to create in the coming days, right? So if you're preparing your students for some research oriented, etc., the second level of attack, which I said in emerging sectors, would be the best ones. If you are preparing yourself for students, for immediate job requirement, for immediate placement, etc., go for the hot sectors, because finance sectors and all, they have huge requirements, and the demand is also very high. Coming to entry roles and career pathways, I thought it will be helpful for you to understand, because in industry, the most preferred role after students get passed from B, engineering, right? I mean, engineering, whether computer science, IS, IT, whatever, whatnot. By the way, just a small reminder, cybersecurity is such a domain which does not require actual, it's only reserved for computer science background students. Today, most CISOs I meet, most industry leaders, veterans in the industry, cybersecurity industry, are all BCom, BA, BSc graduates, honestly speaking. So the reason behind that is cybersecurity by itself is in a nature requires analytical skills, good problem solving skills, and of least it requires common sense, right? Because just compare it with the apple to apple. What you do when you want to physically secure your home when you're going for a trip. You'll try to put off all the switch on, which is TV, etc. Anything, any electric device you'll put off. Then you'll put gas cylinder off. Then you'll close all the windows. Then you'll come out and lock the door. Then you'll double lock, put the lock to gate. So it's all common sense. So similarly, securing your perimeter, your surface, attack surface, is the approach which is taken, and by design it is in the problem solving skills, right? So that's why cybersecurity is not only restricted for computer science students, is what I wanted to convey. Coming to SOC analyst, most of you might be aware, SOC stands for Security Operations Center. Security Operations Center stands for it's usually this as a typically it used to be NOC, Network Operations Center, in olden days, right? Now it has upgraded to SOC, Security Operations. Similarly, it is a integrated dashboard where all the various tools which have been configured, which have been installed and systematically integrated in your enterprise, brings down the data. Okay. For example, there is something called SIM, Security Incident and Event Management. There is SOR, Security Orchestration and Tool. Then there is EDR, XDR. Then there is User Entity. EDR stands for Endpoint Detection Response. It helps in IAM and access management. Then there is something called IDPS and IDS, Intrusion Detection System, Intrusion Prevention System. In security, in enterprise, there are 15-20 various streams. Okay. Enterprise level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ there are approximately 15-20 variety of tools. For example, like as I said, SIM, SWORDs, IDR, IPS, IDS, XDR, EDR. Likewise, there are 20 different tools, 15-20 I would say, which collects various kind of data. User behavior, entity data, anomaly detection, any threat from outside, internal anomaly and user analysis, all that comes and be displayed in a single dashboard where any kind of threat which can be perceived as any irregularity or unusual behavior which could be a potential threat for the organization is try to mitigate it in the much early stage. Today, it's all preventive action. No organization is ready to take risk of first letting the incident happen and then working on a response, but they all work on prevention, correct? So that is the approach. That's why SOC is a simple dashboard. You can see like a 20 to 15-inch big screen, which will show all the data of internal people, users, sellers, not just even organization, internal employees. It so much so that there is a risk today from your vendors, right? Your clients, your customers, your supply chain support partners, your channel partners, system integrators, your managed security providers, everywhere. It could be a threat, right? Keeping your IT system is not just enough. Keeping everybody's security is important. That's why SOC is important. So any organization which is having people below, above 500, 600, 700, they all go for minimum, SOC. Okay. They set up a security operation center, SOC stands for, and they have to, while all the data comes managed by machines and computers, it has to be interpreted by a human. That's the best security level. And it's also the weakest chain, but analyst is required to monitor all the threats 24/7. That's why SOC operates in 3 shifts, not 1 or 2, all 3 shifts. Night, every 24 hour continues on air SOC center. Only analysts are required. So that's the highest job role today in big, there's a huge market. Okay. So far, any questions? Manjuna sir, I hope I'm clearly audible. If any audio issues, etc., wise, please let me know.
Yes, sir. You're audible. Yeah, clearly audible.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Next is information security analyst. You can note down this 11 entry level jobs to the left, which are written. No, information security analyst, network security engineer, I'm really sorry. Threat intelligence analyst, cyber security analyst, compliance analyst is more of a GRC. Andre one company need to be comply with ISO audit. They need to do a certain audits, security audits, pen testing audits, etc. Then penetration is little advanced skills, but yes, cloud security is again further little higher side because somebody to understand cloud itself require 2 to 3 years of good experience in the industry. That's when they'll understand how cloud simulation is done, integration is done, how communication happens and data exchange happens, data packet flow in the cloud space, etc. Cloud is little advanced. IT support analyst, security administrator, these are the common roles, correct? Most of you, I'm sure would have gone through some placement coordinations. You would have facilitated to placement office of your own colleges, or at least your students would have been placed. These are the highest in terms of numbers. These are the prime level roles. Okay, we have mapped this very systematically because we are building a cyber range. To tell you in 1 minute about cyber range, is like it's a attack simulator. How pilot or a fighter jet pilot before they getting into actual fighter jet, because fighter jets are very costly, right? One costs 700 crore. LCA, by the way, light combat aircraft of India, they just cost 700 crore. So you cannot risk it to somebody who is a new beginner. So before they get into hands-on, they go into a simulator, which is a trial and testing phase. So Atara cyber range is for cybersecurity professionals. We give various attacks, all are simulated attacks, various range of 20, 30 type of attacks, right? Web application, steganography, picture image conceiver, all these are various attacks. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Iqbal. I see there is a hand. If any question, please unmute and you can speak.
Yeah. Please unmute and ask the question, sir. Dr. Iqbal.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, my question is, right now I am in teaching, right? I'm
Correct.
teaching in university, and suppose I want to shift in this in some of these roles, right?
Right, sir.
So is there any certification needed? Can you just give me a brief? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, sir, for you, I'm sure because you already come from computer science background, for you,
Yes.
I suggest CH is most obviously today certified ethical hacker. I suggest you do not go for it because all the students, etc., they go. People with roughly, I assume you will have 5 to 10 years of what industry experience. With that kind of this one, you can directly go to CISSP, Certified Information Security Practitioner, or CISM, or
Sir,
CIS.
actually,
CISM,
I don't have any industry experience. I have
no
academic
problem, sir.
experience, right?
No, sir,
Yeah.
no problem. See, I'll tell you what, because this is the advantage of cybersecurity. Today, there is actual dearth of manpower. Okay,
Yes.
I meant to say, I know so many people who are into IT, very different role. I mean, though they're in industry, they're nowhere closer to cybersecurity. Just they got certified in 3 to 6 months, and they went to a very high paying role. Okay, I just last month I was in Dubai for attending an event. I met all the CISOs, all the senior people working are Indians, and that's when we were sitting over a coffee and we discussed why there are so many Indians in all security roles, because in Middle East, as you know, there are so not very less engineering. Historically, there are very less technical colleges, engineering colleges, and so the year recently, because it has become tax haven, it has become open to good law and order. Many companies are opening offices in UAE operations. It has become big market. But whereas manpower, they're still unable to source from their own country. That's why they're open. So if you're looking for a good opportunity, I'm telling you, get good decent certification like CISM, CISP, CISA, and it's information security auditor, information security management manager, information security analyst. All these are I can also send you the separate link.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can go for it. Get it certified, usually 3 to 6 months. They come in the
Yes.
range of 70, 80,000 rupees, less than a lakh. EC Council is there, and IS Square, ISAC, all these are getting good attraction. You can get SANS. SANS is a very good, but SANS is a bit costly. But yeah, uh, to answer your question, yes, you are very much eligible. Just having a basic understanding, problem solving, and analyst skills, you can crack
Yes.
the any of these management, entry. I mean, industry roles.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your
And,
answer.
and to the thank you, sir. To the right, then after now shifting to the focus from entry roles to the career pathways. Student, fresher, as you know, is zero experience required. Now, tier one security analyst, because of today's shortage and mutual benefit for companies also, no, because they get less manpower if they hire freshers. Tier one SOC analyst andre, they will just interpret the data. They'll record the logs. From the logs, any unusual behavior, they report it, they log it, and they send it to the team. Those are SOC analyst one. Whereas SOC analyst two, they are higher paid, and because also their matches with their experience, we see 2 to 4 years. They, upon any unusual behavior, they have to go deeper into why that incident happened, how it had happened, who are the root cause. They have to go down and create a detailed report. Finally, SOC 3 analysts, they have to start planning the defense mechanism. Well, what this incident has happened? What was the reason for SOC 3 analysts? There, it is not important who created, which employee, whether from IT department, HR department, or finance department, clicked the wrong link. That is not important for them. For the why even such an incident took, even after having such a big team, all the security protocols, security tools, so many vendors, so many applications to protect our entity. Even then, why this incident happened, they will come into picture and try to solve the byte by process by design. Okay, you understood SOC 1, SOC 2, SOC 3. That's why if you're a SOC 3 analyst, you'll get very handsome salary paid. Okay, very good salary. It's annually in the range of like 60, 78, like whatever lakhs per annum. Now, SOC engineer, again, they work closely with tier 3 SOC analysts. SOC manager, as you know, it's more of a very senior role. Compliance officer, GRC tools, governance, risk and compliance. Somebody who thinks they are not good at very deep code, technical coding and etc. I'm so sorry. Get into GRC teams. GRC is always about putting the documentation properly, whether all my company, my team, my practice process are meeting the required due diligence and regulatory requirements of the government, of the land law of the land, etc. Right? Coming down, privacy specialist, etc. You can be an engineer, you can be a consultant. I'll tell you, anybody with more than there's a trend. Yeah, anybody with more than 8 to 10 years experience in security, they're not sticking to one organization. They're becoming independent consultant. You know why? Because there's so much demand. Nobody want to get glued to one organization getting fixed CTC. Okay, they are going for consulting. In the same time, they can consult 10 different organizations and get handsome salary, freedom of work, no legal bounding, etc. Okay, that's the trend today. Coming back, any organization today, when I say organization, enterprise, private limited company, MNCs, for them, CISO is the most important role, highest paid role for security. Chief Information Security Officer or Information Security Officer. He is accountable, he's highly paid, and he's a CXO. CXO means the chief under big, all the companies will have only one CISO. Okay, there cannot be have a two. There can be deputy CISO, but CISO will be only one. Okay. For information, all banks today, be it private sector bank, public sector bank, district cooperative banks, scheduled banks, all are mandated to hire a full-time CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, by RBI law. Okay. It is mandated. If it's not, they are also putting heavy penalty. They're also cancelling their licenses. Okay. So it's a very good opportunity. I'm sure, it pay if you're in a tier 2, tier 3 city, you can become a consulting CISO for any banks in your area, parallel teaching, doing a teaching job. It's a very good exposure, not just from the point of remuneration, but also from the point of exposure. Okay, because the kind of exposure you get in industry practice, you can bring it back to the classrooms and share it to the students. And I'm sure from then on, you see, there will be no mass bunks, there will be no students missing out. Students will come automatically searching for in whether be it in staff room or classrooms. Coming back, I can also share this with you if required. It's a very detailed report of what are the skill sets required, right? What are certifications? So, example, MITRE, cybersecurity fundamentals, you can go for tools, right? Yeah. Splunk, ELK tools are very, very common. Understand the MITRE attack. Okay. Whereas in hands-on range, what they can do. For one technical skill strongly required by most of the professionals is strong networking fundamentals. Network fundamentals means TCP/IP. How does internet protocol works? What is DNS? What is routing? What is firewall? And then one email. If you send an email, and to your, let's say, colleague or friend, it lands, right? But how does exchange happen, right? First, it gets onto your server as a data packet, then gets encrypted. It goes onto a public infra that crosses some firewalls, goes to your friend, then it gets decrypted and puts it back as a message. All this has to happen over a fraction of seconds time. Now, this is called networking fundamentals. Hege one message, one email, one call, how does it actually happens? That is the a key critical element. And if you have strong networking, I'm sure most of the challenge in cybersecurity can be solved by you. Okay. So this is very detailed. So Windows, Kali Linux is there. I'm sure all the other resource person are my good friend Venkatesh Sharma, Samarth, Mahesh. I'm sure all they would have helped you on these various aspects. If there is existing guidelines, ISO audit, NIST rules are there. And NIST also gives the skill set based job roles. What are the key elements required? You can also refer to that. And there are so many open source. Anyway, I'll come to that, but I can also share what is this detailed report you can refer for your larger benefit. Yeah. Points to harness. I would say what I wanted to cover this was, see, end of the day, since this is a faculty development program, what the message it has to go is how you can further improve your own skill sets. Second is how you can pass it on to your students. One, awareness sessions, right? You attend as many industry visits, as many projects, hackathon events, etc. This is going to be very, very useful, because only when you see, only when you feel it and has hands and see it and feel it is when you get actual trainer, right? I don't know how many of you have got a chance to visit to see security operations center, actual security operations center. From CySecK, we took so many faculty development programs. Most of our faculty developers are also followed by industry visit. Okay. Sorry. Number two, how many of you visited data centers actually? How the DTC works? What are the security protocols there? What are the configurations? How does a router box works? How does the socket works? All these connections. I mean, when you see it and feel it, you'll get it. Third, second is attending trainer programs like this. I'm first of all, I congratulate all of you because taking your time after a already day's work and joining online is a bit challenging with all family commitments. If you have done that, amazing. I think you already crossed the first barrier and shows your interest. So attending such programs gives one certain degree of exposure. Third thing is please encourage your students in terms of attending to various capture the flag competition. We from CySecK regularly conduct capture the flag competitions and hackathons and encourage more and more students, because in hackathon and CTF, what happens is we give real-time challenges similar to what it happens in the industry. We create scenarios and give it. When the idea is not to win it, CTF ಗೆಲ್ಲೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಸೋಲೋದು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಲ್ಲ. When students come, when they see other students, even if the very dull or lazy student also, when he sees so many other colleagues doing and at least solving the challenge after one day of boot camp, they'll get excited. The first flag they capture, it may be tough. Second flag, it may be little further tough. Third time when they get hold of it things, I'm sure they one time he enjoys the entire exercise of capture the flag competition or hackathon. Regularly they will attend. You not have to go push it. First 1 or 2 time, I request faculties to push all students, irrespective of which branch or whichever it is. Ask them to, probably the way can be, sir, you can give you can reserve 5 marks in internals for people, for students attending, CTF and hackathons. Okay. Please try to implement and see. I'm sure this will be very, very helpful. Right. Fourth important point, doing capstone project, mini projects. There are so many industry use cases. There is Anthan platform from PSA, Principal Scientific Advisor. This is one example. ISC host. So many problem statements are hosted. ಮೇಟಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮೇಟಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ STM ಅದು science, technology, education, and there is team under Ministry of Education. They host their reserved funds. ANSR, Anusandhan Research Yojana from central government. So many problem statements they give, and along with that, not just problem statement, they give secure. They also indicate how much fund they can give for such a prototype. If you develop a project and if you can demonstrate it can work at least at a small scale, it's called POC, proof of concept. If you are able to do that POC, I'm sure there are so many buyers. To give one example, right now also DS, Data Security Council of India, is hosted IDEX program ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. IDEX is done by Indian Defense Exchange Defense Innovation and Entrepreneurship Exchange Program ಅಂತ, where they give funding up to 25 crores also for the problem statement they have given. Okay, they identified in various 5-6 categories you have to develop, and if you're able to deploy, they give they assure PO means purchase order or procurement. They give from the moment you get shortlisted, they assure you that the solution will be procured. Fifth is certifications. Please encourage more and more students to take certification, CH or CISA, all these entry-level certification programs. Cisco has, CySecK has so many free MOOC courses. We give foundation level courses. Other programs are offline. Online only, but now MOOC course one day today, foundation course, because we believe online ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು effective ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. But otherwise, for scale, online is good. Okay, if you want to create huge numbers, Cisco provides, Microsoft has, even Fortinet today has so many free programs, etc. Please register. Ask your students to register to them. Form security clubs. Please ignore typo errors, because I created just this presentation at 5:36, just before the presentation. So please ignore some typo errors. Security club could be a very good initiative, because once you assign a student coordinator led by at least some decent funding from HOD's office, one full-time faculty in any department can take in charge. You can regularly, every fortnight, 2 weeks once, you can conduct some program, right? Could just start with security club. Could just start with awareness sessions. Then you can invite us. Anybody who are able to do it for free, don't worry. It's not about, there are so many people I meet, they are ready to contribute back to the society because they have got benefited from being in security role. They are ready to just come and share their knowledge. Okay. So ask some industry person to come and speak. It will motivate them. Just sharing their journey. How did they, crack the interview? How did they get into this role? How was their experience? What all they did? What are do's and don'ts? That itself will motivate the students a lot, right? Bring more and ask at least monthly once other one the industry talk on the they ask them to speak, share them knowledge. What I'm sure nobody will expect any remuneration also. Just give them one simple rose or one bouquet, flower bouquet, more than enough, right? Many people are there who like that itself is a big felicitation for them, coming and speaking. Okay, coming back, set up security labs and center of excellence. This is a bit higher, but if your college asks you for a proposal, keep any proposal ready. You never know. Nimatra, as a professors, you have to keep at least 4 or 5 research proposals ready always. Okay, because you never know when proposal comes. Right now, our own Department of ITBT is giving so many grants. Leap accelerator ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, local accelerator and local entrepreneurship accelerator program. Then asking for setup of CO technology business. Alvas I think also has. Manipal has technology business incubator. There are so much funds. Our college department has been given 1,000 crore budget for this year. ITB department. You know how much they have spent? Only 250 crores. So more than 80% is lying in this one. So department is in pressure to disperse the money. Feel free. There are so many. Go to ITBT department website. There are so many call for proposals, call for grant, call for applications. So keep always 2-3 proposals ready. Okay. Finally, big bounty programs anta irutte. Big bounty programs are industry call for effective. There are so many, even after creating, there are so many vulnerabilities. If any user discloses voluntarily, they will charge. So I don't know. I think Venkatesh Sharma told you or not. So Venkatesh Sharma, Manjuna sir, did Venkatesh Sharma session over? Is over or?
Sir, over last
Okay.
Wednesday he completed.
Acha, he's very good. I mean, he did so many. He won so many. He won a Ather bike. He always finds vulnerabilities in website like Ather bike. He got a free Ather bike
Yeah, he
by
has
practicing.
explained it. Yeah.
He has explained. Correct. Good. So yeah, coming to anyway. So what I wanted to say is, ನಿಮ್ advantage ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ all of you have an advantage. Ask what? You have good students, right? You have to identify the good students. So you not have to do uh, all proposal writing, developing any prototype by coding, etc. Nothing. Faculties have this one advantage that students are at their disposal, right? If you assure them they'll give you 10-15 marks extra for doing some exceptional work, they can do all projects for you. You have to just guide them, be as a guide, be as a you know as a like a signal, I mean direction provider, right? Rest everything they will, at execution level they can get their hands dirty. By the way, they'll also learn, plus you will get so much of time and energy saved. You can just spend on strategic and tactical things. You spend time on those things. Operational things students can do once. A first copy, first draft, ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ other first starting is important. Whether it could be a proposal, it could be a project, it could be a research paper. Start with a draft. Slowly all can improvise. So give it entire the onus to students, right? I'm sure today students are equally capable and equally ಎಲ್ಲ ತರ ಇದೆ even because thanks to free internet and so much technology advancement. I'm sure all colleges will have good equally good and bad students, right? Who do nothing, who just exploit the internet and YouTube for no reason. But few good students, they're very, very capable. They do so much highly demonstrable product. So fast also they are, right? For example, Unisys program, I was invited. Unisys University Innovation Program ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ every year. So whatever products they want to develop internally as a Unisys, be very big company, 15,000 people alone in India itself, globally more than that, 50,000 approximately. So their research program is so good. Innovation program, they call for applications. It's open for all universities. Students can apply. They give problem statement. If you develop a prototype, they will take the students for full-time roles job. Okay, they'll offer. And so many such facilities are done. Unisys is just one example which I got, but there are so many. Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell. Now coming back, key takeaways. Anyone can get into security domain roles. As I said, I try to sum it up. Common sense, analytical skills, problem solving. If you have, you are very capable for getting into cybersecurity. Goes without saying, willingness to learn. You have to upskill. You have to keep on learning, because that has been the one important nature of I think inevitable nature of IT domain, right? Encourage more students, give them platform. Today I think students, there are good breed of students are seeking platform. Or again, you just give them a server, to host. They'll do in GitHub, they'll write copy codes, they'll use AI. They're much advanced, they're much fast, right? Like prepare a website in no minutes, create an application, beta festation they'll do. They're ready to do anything, right? So use them, leverage them, and give them a platform to for their testing their skills. Automatically, few people who get forward now, encourage, motivate other students to also follow. Finally, if you want to set up a lab, COE in your college, please start. Just require 1, 2, 3 computers. I'm sure you already, most colleges today have it. Just put it name and start basic with open source tools. Okay. Let's try Acme. There's so many tools which are free. GitHub has so many tools, etc. You can just start by with that. And end of the day, as the faculties, you are meant to lead by example. So unless you people get your hands dirty, I'm sure uh, students will not be motivated. So as a request, get more this one. You can also start consulting to industries. There is so much shortage, dearth of strong cybersecurity professionals that even if you want to work as a consultant, many people are ready to acquire. There are so many MSMEs, they cannot afford to pay very skillful IT professional cybersecurity consultants. They cannot. On Pinal or mid-scale company, they want all security protocols, whether they're comply with all security requirements or not. Right? Just do a simple security audit. Or simple pen testing they don't know. You can become consultant. I don't know if your Mangalore has a decent number of small cell mid-scale companies. You can go approach them. Even Belgaum has. Leave Bangalore if you exclude. I'm not speaking Bangalore because Bangalore is already crowded. So that way. Finally, which I was saying is proposals. There are so many grants, applications. You have to create. You have to one skill you have to master is creating a very strong proposals. Being in ISC, we know so many every day new or other funding is coming. Not proposal writing, just new proposals are only coming. Everybody want to associate to ISC, all government PSUs, Maratna, BPCL, then NMDC, National Mineral Development Corporation has given 16,000 crores. They have fund 600 crores. They want to give to ISC through FSID to do some research in mineral technology, etc. Why other colleges are not getting? Because probably I feel one is definitely the visibilities and the brand name, etc. Definitely I agree. But beyond that, faculties are maybe not writing a very strong proposal, right? So one FDP, you all have to attend on writing how to write a good proposal, right, to get funding. What happens when you get funding? It's not just to take funds and sit, but how will you get benefited is many of you are interested in doing research and getting PhD, having some patents. Challenge is you will not have enough hardware, facility, lab, state-of-art labs to test your solution as a test bed. Once you have this proposal, can as part of it, 50-60% you dedicate for hardware procurement, installation, infrastructure readiness. It's a capital investment. Remaining 30-40 whatever percent you can put for as a PI, honorarium, compensation, operational cost, consumables, and other contingency. So put a very strong proposal. I'm sure apply for 10-15 per year every at least yearly 15-20 proposals you have to. If you submit, I'm sure you'll get. And once you get the taste of it, it's like testing crocodile getting a taste of blood. The once that the taste of it, you'll excel. And it will also improve the whole level of faculty engagement from peers. From your peers also will get motivated. Okay, 5G lab. There are Department of Telecom had recently invite so many applications for setting a 5G test bed in various colleges, institutes. I don't know how many of you wrote. Yeah. So I thought this is just, I don't know if it is helpful, but top global players. Palo Alto Networks, Crowds. These are apart from IBM, Microsoft and Google. These are very good companies. Palo Alto, CrowdStrike, Fortinet, Zscaler, Checkpoint, Akamai, Sentinel-1, all recently grown. Israel, as you also know, is a very top company. All digital forensics companies, softwares are all Israel based. These are top Indian players. Quick Heal, Tax Security. By the way, Tax Security was one of our alumni from the first cohort when we started 2020 first Cyber Security Accelerator program. Today, if you have a CloudSec, Secunoise, all these are doing very good business in cyber security. All are alumni of our startup, of our cohort program from CySecK. Okay. The floor is now open for questions. Feel free to, if you have any thoughts, any idea, anything to be shared.
Yes, sir. How the students can approach, like as a fresh student, because talking about the experienced one for this role, maybe information security, or this one role, initial role you said. How they can approach it, whether they have to wait for campus recruitment or any other general platform after completion of their certification.
Okay. So, right. So, if I understand your questions properly, sir, one is okay. See, mass hiring always goes with the big companies, right? Where the generic schools, for example, software
Yes.
engineer role. If you go for Infosys, TCS, etc., they are also there, correct? Well, and there are
Right.
new companies, startups. They pay very high risk but high payment also. Like in
Mm.
security also, if you are going for a SOC analyst, etc., there are already so many established companies. Every company today, take any Caterpillar, Airbus, all these companies also have their security operations center today. So they will procure. They will hire SOC analyst, IT analyst, or security analyst. But if somebody want to get into a very niche space like automotive security, the companies like all big Caterpillar, John Deere, recently which company Airbus. I was speaking with one of the very good automotive, Garrett Automotive. All these companies are opening roles, right? But
Mm.
as entry point, their scrutiny, their level of evaluation is also very high. So what students
Mm.
can do, firstly, is by right from the sixth sem or fifth, I would say fifth sem only, they have to start
Mm.
taking online courses. First, start with fifth sem, they can finish online courses parallelly, right? They can
Mm.
do evening, etc. They can finish 2-3 courses. Once you
Right.
finish the courses, right from sixth sem, they have to apply for fellowship, internships, etc. At least some Bangalore college which I visit, no, they say that
Mm.
this is allowed. They allow the liberty, or students are given choice to manage their own internship of their choice from sixth sem only. Okay,
Correct.
any
Correct.
like. So that liberty colleges have to give, at least based on at least students who are very really interested. You will get to know, right, sir? After spending 5 sems, I'm sure which student is genuine and which is just student is not genuine. I mean, he's really passionate. You have to give some exceptions to them. So they have to start providing internship, etc. Parallelly, as I said, even before going to internship, if they can go to hackathons, CTFs, big bounty programs, etc., nothing like it, honestly. If because
Mm.
hackathon, mini project, capstone project gives very good ideas, right? Finally, so the flow is first online certifications, then testing the skills through CTF challenge, hackathon, big bounty, and all that. Third is getting into a industry kind of role through internship, fellowship, research associate kind of program. Even IISc, for example, they invite a very advanced research fellowships, 3 months, 6 months. Uh, I know somebody from Kolkata, Jadavpur University have applied. They got the kind of apparatus, the kind of setup they're getting access to. Most students in their postdoc or PhD will not get such access they are getting here. So
Mm.
there's an advantage. So what I feel is, um, not everybody can be an excel a master of it,
Yes.
but at least few
Correct. Yeah.
few faculties which can see that spark in few students. You can create a small group and ask them to apply through this journey. Seventh sem, they have to do a mandatory internship. Even though one concern I get, V2 is also streamlining the internship process by empaneling vendors and all. I'm surprised students still have to go to internship to pay or where they pay and get learns. I don't know why is required. The whole internship is to give them industry exposure, hands-on skills, how a typical enterprise role works. To get that knowledge skill, this internship is created. If if an internship is to be paid, then that is not an internship. It is like an additional learning or course or certificate program you are doing. So I definitely do not market or recommend such programs. Even if it's small program, even it's unknown company, if they can give certified, put you on an actual project, put you on an actual task, be it log collection, be it writing a simple proposal, be it writing a simple code. Those internships are much more valued than any of the big established companies where you pay and go, because they're all in there. These students will, our people who offer such course programs, no, they'll, they'll put them on some learning program. Idekali a structured program irutte. Excuse me. If it's a structured program, I'm sure college is already doing that, correct? Yeah. That is it. 7th sem, they have to finish internship. Finally, during 8th sem, they have to do a demonstrable project, be it capstone project, mini project, whatever, led by at least some one faculty or so. Any that can be done. How it is going to help is because even though they fail or whatnot, that experience they can put it in their CV. And today, that extra unique thing in your CV matters. You student puts, I'm a failed entrepreneur, that will attract more eyeballs than your 9.999 CGPA will attract less eyeballs. Then if you just mention you're a failed entrepreneur, you tried doing this, your startup idea failed. You just put that, more people will see the second one than going to the first one. Correct? So after after internship, yeah, I told, I think fifth sem learning, sixth sem CTF hackathons, and seventh sem internship, another eighth sem project. Finally, during the end of the eighth sem, please prepare them on communication skills, interpersonal skills, soft skills. This is very, very important. End of the day, especially I come from North Karnataka, so I know the challenge. Except Bangalore students, rest all Karnataka students don't lack skills or talent, or they're equally capable. But the point where they actually get behind is they have lack of communication skills. They know they know the concept, but they fear, they hesitate, they shy away from sharing their information, whatever they know. So that I think gets beaten. Whereas Bangalore college students, they'll be very fast in communicating. Even if they're a little bit, they know how to present that information. Whereas rest of other anything outside Bangalore, students face that challenge. So communication skills, how to face interviews. Last 1 week, compulsorily, please train all the students so that whatever they know, they're able to communicate effectively. In any organizations, as you enter, all the industry people know that he's a student, he's a fresher, he'll not know much, but at least he should be communicatable enough so that he gets gelled in with, he becomes a good part of the team, right? He becomes a team player. That's what they want. So that skills can only be enhanced by your good communication, interpersonal, and building that rapport, socializing, and maintaining your good LinkedIn profile, good all that. So all that is required. Sorry, that was a very long answer, sir, but
Okay, I could understand. We have one startup in Hack5. The name is called Hack5.
Hack5, yes.
Student startup. I think Sujay is the student who started it.
Correct.
I think he has contacted you one time. I think.
Oh, correct. Yes, sir. Yes, right.
Anyway, I will
Absolutely.
invite you separately for the
Sure,
campus.
sir. Sure, sir.
Campus for that
Sure, sir.
particular.
Great, sir. Any questions? Any last one or two questions? If we can take, if not, Lastly, I would
Participants, have any questions?
so lastly, I would like to say one thing. Thank you, Dr. Parn. So yeah, I wanted to say that today, IISc, in fact, all IITs, IISc like institutes have populated a Section 8 company which handles all the funds, focuses on research commercialization, startup funding, entrepreneurship activities. So I request at least most of colleges might have, but at least if colleges do not have, please breed an idea in your management, in your principal, in your HODs that they should also populate a Section 8 company in their respective colleges, which will focus on research commercialization, because today there is so much research happening. You as a faculty will write so many papers, right? You go and present, but the the real gold is in any research which is commercializable, right? Not just patenting. It should be commercializable, patent. That's when it will attract the industry, because they think they can mint money from them and they're ready to share any profit from that. So that type of research, if you're focusing, I'm sure it will have huge attraction and you will get enough support. You'll also get benefited, compensated financially, everything. So please, focus on creating good proposal. You can also, all of you should also attend one FDP or such training on writing a good research proposal or financial bid proposal. I think that will give a very good idea to all of you. With that, I thank you. If you have any other questions also, I'll probably share this presentation with Manjunath sir. He can share internally, which will have my contact details. You can write.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you just share the slides so that I will share it in the group.
Definitely.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, for your
Pleasure.
informative like a lecture on this particular, especially career paths for the students as well as some of the faculties also interested during this time. Uh, Thank you very much for even though if you are having ill health problem, you have successfully completed the informative session. On behalf of Advanced Institute of Engineering and Technology, I extend a great thanks to you, as well as I extend a thanks to all the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So thank you. In fact, I said no. It's not. I feel it is more. It's more of my an obligation, my role, or it's my duty. But all of you, 154 people I see who are at least have joined online apart from your everyday, work.
Yes.
Amazing. Thanks to you for staying so long in patient hearing. Thanks, Dr. Manjunath ji, for giving me this opportunity. My privilege. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Participant, please note you have a 5 to 6 minutes of a short break. After that, please leave.
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೋಗ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ
Just wait, Ramya.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್
Waiting for our resource person will join now shortly.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್
3
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು
minutes. Hello, sir. Samarth, sir. Am I audible?
Hello, sir. Yes, I'm audible now, sir.
Yeah. Any more account I have to enable as a presenter?
Okay,
Only one is
just this account itself, the one
Okay.
which I've joined.
Okay,
so that I can
sir.
share my screen.
Already I have done a presenter. Okay. A short introduction will happen no, from the Ramya. Can you?
I'm
yes
not
sir
able to share the screen, sir. I mean, so, I'll
Okay,
just text
now-
it out. I'll just text the this one.
Okay.
I'm just very-
One more.
Yeah. This account, yes, sir.
shall I
Yes.
start sir
That is already made, sir. You try it.
Me, does it?
just
I already made it as a presenter.
Presenter, is it? Not getting the share option.
Option.
Should I exit and rejoin again, sir?
Okay. I will once again. I will change and do it again.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
Now I will. Okay.
Now I got
will
it, sir. Yes,
Okay.
now I
Fine.
got it.
Okay. Ramya, you can start with the
okay sir okay
introduction.
sure sir
Yes.
okay sir. Good evening everyone. It is now my privilege to introduce our distinguished guest for today's ATAL Online Faculty Development Program, Mr. Samarth Bhaskar Bhat. Mr. Samarth Bhaskar Bhat is a seasoned cybersecurity professional and the technical director at Reverse Engineering INFOSEC, that is REINFOSEC, based in Bengaluru. With over 7 years of hands-on experience, he has worked extensively across information security,
telecom software development, and embedded systems. He has successfully conducted 50 plus workshops, audits spanning critical sectors such as banking, telecom, payment gateways, and critical infrastructure systems. An accomplished international conference speaker, he has delivered talks and workshops at prestigious platforms, including Black Hat MEA, Seaside Security Conference, and HipCon Taiwan. As a member of the South Indian Software Defined Radio Users Group, he continues to promote innovation in RF and SDR research with highly practical sessions on GNU radio, signal analysis, protocol development, and reverse engineering. His teaching style is known for its deep technical rigor, real-world relevance, and interdisciplinary approach, seamlessly bridging the cyber and physical domains of cybersecurity. Truly honored to have Mr. Samarth Bhaskar Bhat. Thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Samarth Bhaskar Bhat. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Just
Thank you,
share my
sir.
screen. Hope my screen is visible
Yes, sir.
and I'm
Yeah,
audible.
visible. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
So yeah. So good evening to all. So today we'll discuss on the topic of forensics, cybercrime, and the precautions as well as prevention steps what are available and what is actually forensics, each and everything. So when we speak on forensics, digital forensics comes as a part of forensic wing. So when we say what is forensics, forensics is something like investigating a past activity. It can be any kind of activity. It may be a physical activity, it may be a digital activity, or it might be a combination of both physical and digital. So when we say on forensics, forensics is a combination of 4 and 6. That is 4 plus 6. What we get is 1 0. That is 10. One either a flip or a flop conclusion, complete conclusion or no conclusion, where we can get to know it out. Here. So in forensics itself, there are plenty of domains. For example, it may be fingerprints, it may be question paper or fraud document analysis, it may be ballistics, it may be DNA. There are multiple. So usually forensics is used for investigating activity which is involved in a crime, basically a crime activity investigation. Since the crime has taken place in another angle, that is in another landscape or another domain, which we call it as cyber crime. So we have something called cyber forensics, or we can say something called digital forensics. So digital forensics is a wing in cyber for is under the actual forensics. So when we say forensics, who can anyone tell me who are the stakeholders when we say in forensics? When I say stakeholders, who are the people who are involved in forensics? You can just unmute yourself or even enter it in the chat section also.
Police department.
Yes, one of the stakeholders are the police department. Apart from police department,
CBI.
CBI again, yes. So one stakeholder we can say it as law enforcement agencies. It can be CBI, it can be ED, it can be income tax, it can be police department. These are all law enforcement agencies. So one stakeholder is law enforcement agencies. The another one or the other stakeholders. Who are the other stakeholders? So because we need to understand who are the people and what are their roles.
Victim.
Victim will not be involved in investigation. Yes, victim will be an evidence manner. Yes, victim is one of the, we can say they are the stakeholders. Apart from victim, who else? So
Someone chat box. Someone texted in chat box.
yes, there are another two stakeholders. So where are the major stakeholders is? So for the police is where we can say is they are the first line of investigating team. The actual investigators, when we say, are the
Sir, it is muted.
sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So the second stakeholder is the FSL, that is Forensic Science Lab, which is owned by the state government itself. There is a difference between police department and Forensic Science Lab. Forensic Science Lab, they involve only in the investigation part, and they are the certifying authority. We say police as the assisting authority. Then the third and the main important stakeholders is, or the most absolute supreme stakeholder when we say come to, or when we have to take into forensics, is the judiciary, that is the courts. So these are the three pillars in digital forensics, or the three stakeholders who carry out the investigations. So now let's look into how do they do it out and what is the involvement. Today, why are we discussing? Is it really relevant today? Today, if you take the Karnataka police force itself, it is having more than 50% of them are for engineers, engineering background. If you take in all over the law enforcement agencies, also engineers play a big role, and cyber forensics is a crucial role where it acts as a conclusion, where it decides whether the crime has happened or not. So this is a very much relevant field where, and it is the most ignored field also at the same time in cybersecurity.
Excuse me, sir. Slide is not moving.
Just now I moved it out, sir, because I
Okay,
was not
thank you.
moving it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So the very first thing to understand in digital forensics is what is cyber crime. So let me understand from your point of view. Can anyone tell me how do we define cyber crime? What is a cyber crime? Or how is it
Cheating
different
some
than
other
from
ways.
normal crime?
Cheating some other ways in the digital.
Cheating some of the people. Yeah, okay, that is one of the cyber crimes. Then, or how do we give a definition?
Sir, any
How do we
crime
define a
that
cyber crime? What
happens
is the
using
criteria to define a cyber crime?
using cyberspace, internet, or computers.
Is it only
Any
computers?
crimes that happens over cyberspace.
So what do we mean by cyberspace?
Using internet.
Is it okay? Internet. Apart from that,
I mean, computing devices.
computing devices. What about non-computing devices?
Cyber.
So absolutely right. Whatever every one of you have mentioned it out. So to understand this, first thing is we have to understand what is a crime. Basically, a crime is something which is always against the law. Now, what do we mean by law? Law should be passed by the government. That is the law of the land. If there is any law and if it is against that law, then only it is considered as crime. If it is not defined in the law, then it is not at all a crime. So now we know what is crime. Coming to cyber crime. Cyber crime is nothing but any crime defined in any law which has an involvement of a device or a network or a combination of both. Why only network? Because there are plenty of wireless network communications which happens, not necessarily only internet. Internet is just one of the type of network. There are multiple types of networks like Bluetooth, like any other things, plenty of other things also there. So when we say on wireless communication, so there are plenty of other things which will be handed over there. So coming to on cyber crime, so cyber crime is nothing but a nothing but a digital crime where it has an involvement of a device or a network. So what do we mean by device or a network is basically any kind of digital device, any kind of a network also. It may be internet, or it may be even a mobile, or it may be any kind of electromagnetic emission devices out here. Now, how do we define cybercrime in India? It is based on the IT Act. So IT Act section from 66 to section 79, it clearly defines what is an cybercrime and what are the punishments, what are the compensations, each and everything. It has defined it out clearly. So now coming to what are the investigating procedures, or what is digital crime? How do we say it out here? Hello, am I audible? Yes, am I audible? Hello.
Sir, you are audible, sir. Yes, sir,
You are audible. Participants,
Yes.
please mute yourself. Participants.
Thank you. Yes. So now regarding on catching on the criminals here. So what do we mean by catching out criminals here is nothing but how do we carry out the investigations? So the investigation is nothing but basically involves 5 things on cyber forensics. When we say on 5 things, so the first thing would be always identifying or identification of cybercrime. So what do we mean by identification of cybercrime is there are plenty of types of crimes which take place. So in cyber forensics, we have categorized it to multiple types. So what are the types? We'll look into it. So the first step involves identification. This is the same principle which is involved in even the normal forensics. So the first thing which is involved in forensics or cyber forensic investigation is nothing but known as identification. So first step is on identifying the type. Then second thing is preserving. Can anyone tell me why do we require preserving? What is the role of preserving here?
We may have to verify it later.
Verification of it later. Okay. Other than that, what do we mean by the word preserve?
The current state may not be reproduced again, so that
Current state may not be reproduced. Yes,
state that has to
absolutely. Yes. Apart from that,
For maintaining the proof of the crime, we have to
maintaining the
save
proof of crime. Correct. Then
Keep something safe.
to keep something safe. Yes. So absolutely. So all the answers are right. So why do we require preserving is electronic devices are very sensitive to the nature. It may be the surrounding air. It may be the storing devices wherever we keep it out. It may be any kind of the environment. So the devices may get damaged. So how to properly preserve the device? Preserve in the sense the maintain the state of the device, not just the physical state. It may be even the cyber state as well there. So how do we mention the cyber state? Each and everything is by the preserving of method there. So that is the second stage. Third one is on recovering. Can anyone tell me what do we mean by recovering?
for example, if a mail is sent from a
Mail is sent
and if
from
that mail is deleted from some machine, from a desktop, and that mail is deleted, and it can be recovered back from the hard disk or even the mail using a software.
Correct. So why do we require recovery? Why is it so necessary?
We want to know what actually had happened and what was the mail that was sent in case if it is mail.
Yes. What has happened?
This happened maybe 10-15 years. It happened in our university. The same thing happened in our university. So we were surprised to see that a team of cyber police came and extracted all those mails. Until that time, we didn't know that once a mail is deleted, it can be retrieved.
Correct. Absolutely. So it is nothing but recovering. It may be damaged or it may be modified. So retrieving the original state is nothing but known as the recovering. We'll look into it, what exactly is into deep in of this. Post this comes the analysis. If these three steps are not followed properly and directly analysis are happening, then we may miss out a major important things. For example, there might be a bomb explosion which has taken place in a location. So from a bomb explosion completely, what do we get in a bomb explosion? We may get or take a fire accident location. We may get a CCTV camera, or we may get a computer, or we may get a pen drive. So directly, if we start taking the pen drive and accessing it out there, if they directly access it out by if they directly access the pen drive without recovering, without preserving, or without identifying it out, we will not be able to get the original state. It may be modified also. So depending on this, so we will get to know what kind of state it is present in. It may be identification, preserving. Then comes the last state, that is the presenting facts and opinions. That is how the interpretation, what has happened, how do we decide it out there. This applies for any kind of forensic activity. The same principles are applied even for cyber forensics also. So the first step is on identification. So when we say on identification, so cyber forensics can be categorized into three things. So the three things are computer forensics, mobile forensics, and network forensics. A crime can happen using these three mediums. Either it may be computer, mobile, or network, or combination of all the three, or any of the two. Is there any other way where a combination can take place? Can anyone tell me? Is there any other way?
Internet, sir.
Internet is a type of a network again. So if you take any kind of devices or anything, it falls under these three categories itself. It is either a computer or a mobile or a network or combination of these things here. So first, when they are investigating, this is the first clarity which has to be sought. Whether there is a involvement of computer forensics to be followed, or there is a necessity of mobile forensics, or is there a necessity of network forensics, or a combination of all the three. What is the necessity and what kind of principles and what kind of methods has to be followed? This has to be looked into precisely. So the first step is identification. Then the second step is preserving. So preserving, in the sense, there is a protocol always to store any kind of devices. For example, we have seen many places in the police department itself. During the investigation, they have got lot of information, especially in the income tax raids. The Enforcement Directorate, ED institution, they do income tax raid. They take out all the devices, they seize the devices, and they go to their place. They get all the information and they store it out. Once they go back and present it in the court with the original device, there is nothing present in the original device. Can anyone tell me what would be the reason?
They might have deleted everything.
No. There is no physical involvement at all.
Okay, it's basically an electronic device. So we can't say whether it works all the time.
So example, in this case, what I gave an example, it is hard disk.
Okay.
Hard disk seized from the computers, basically. What would be the scenario? What would be the reason? Every data was recovered during the time of seizing.
Okay.
But when it was presented to the court after a couple of months,
transporting, the hard disk might have damaged.
No. During transportation, nothing was happened. It was stored properly, and there was no damage, physical damage or anything. No one tried to even touch it out also. But the data is not present there.
The owner may have written some automatic programs. If a third party, if some other unauthorized person takes the data, means automatically it may be deleted after some time.
No, that was also
Maybe
not
the
the
data
case.
is encrypted.
No.
They may use virtual private networks.
No. So any other reason? So the major reason is when we say it is a hard disk. So it's a metal. It was stored in a metal almirah. So when it was metal almirah, due to the environment, the magnetic reaction took place and the data got corrupted. So this was purely a lack of storage issue. Properly, it was not stored in a proper location. So this was biggest kind of problem which is faced by the enforcement directorate there. So that's where storage matters. That's why they started using something called Faraday bag and Faraday boxes, so that even the radiations also will not even affect any kind of devices once any device is stored in that particular bags. So that was on the storage. So the second step was on preserving, identifying, then preserving. It has to be preserved. One is the physical state preserving. The second is even the actual state, that is what exactly in the data. When we say integrity, we say data integrity, that also has to be preserved. So how do you preserve the data integrity? So for that also we have tools for it. We'll look into it. So once it is preserved, so we have a protocol to be followed, which we call it as 65B. Prior the new laws came into picture. So here we need to have a legal angle also. Why? Because it's clearly a legal language, jurisprudence here. So before it was Indian Evidence Act, now it is BNSS, Bharatiya Nyaya Sakshya Samhita. So Indian Penal Code is also replaced. So all the new laws have come into picture. So before it was under Indian Evidence Act, section 65B. So we call it a 65B protocol. Now it is 63(4) under the new act. So what it says, it has given a clear methods, that is we call a protocol, how to deal with a digital investigation. So which involves all the five principles, that is identification, preserving, recovering, then analysis and presenting facts. In that, the first step is identifying the computer crime, then collecting the preliminary evidence. So what do we mean by preliminary evidences? Whatever the associated devices are there in the crime spot, everything has to be collected out, so that if there is any link of a device, we'll have to know, we'll have to try to do cross relation mapping, then we'll have to get it. Obtain court warrant for seizure. Why court warrant for seizure? Can anyone tell me this? Why do you require court warrant for seizure here? Can anyone tell me?
Go through the legal process.
Legal process, but why court warrant? What do we mean by a warrant? A warrant is something like, basically, I have got a device during the investigation. It may be, for example, a suicide case. I got a mobile and I found that the last communication was happening with another person. Now, directly, I cannot ask the another person's device because it is a breach of privacy. So here it has to be taken by the court, prior notice and permission. So that's why obtain court warrant if there is a third party involved. Even if tomorrow police comes and asks you mobile, you need not give it out because it's your right to privacy. So there is no provision where a policeman can ask it out directly without court's permission at all. So please be aware of this. Then perform first responder procedures. Anyone of you heard about first responder procedures? What is first responder procedures? What do we mean by that? First responder procedures are nothing but procedures which is involved in, suppose a device might be in different state, it might be in damaged state, it might be the display might be broken, or the device might be burning. So first responder procedure is the set of procedures where you apply so that you prevent the further damage and retain the state of the device as much as possible. That's nothing but first responder procedures. For each device, there is a different set of procedures. It may be computer, it may be laptop, it may be CD, it may be pen drive, it may be mobile, different set of procedures that has to be applied. Then seizing the evidence at crime scene, transporting the evidence to forensic science lab. So till here, it is the job of the police department. That is the assisting authority. This is the first stakeholder's role and responsibility. Then comes the second role and responsibility. That is the certifying authority, which is forensic science lab, FSL. So here, that is creating bitstream copies or who do the investigation. So the very first thing what a doubt comes into picture here is, what is the proof that the police has not tampered the evidence in this case? So how do we make sure that? Can anyone tell me? What is the proof that the police has not tampered the evidence? Because they have collected everything. How do we trust the police department here?
We cannot trust, sir, because they can do anything with that particular evidence.
We cannot trust, but today's system is running on them, so there should be a method. So what would be the method? What is it? How? What is the scientific principle behind it? So the scientific principle involved here is just like how we have. Yes, please go ahead.
Fingerprinting can be.
Fingerprint, no. Everyone here, there is no chance of fingerprint. Everything is digital.
Okay.
I would say if there is a laptop seized in the crime scene, they have submitted to lab. What if they wouldn't have this one added any new data through a pen drive or deleted any data? How do we make sure that? How do we believe that? Or the major thing is, how do you know that whether they have accessed it or not? So here comes the beauty of digital forensics. Every bit to bit can be traced out. So how do we do that? Just like how we have fingerprint, every activity, every file in a computer or in any computing device, it will be recorded. Just like how we have no two fingers can have the same fingerprint, similar way here also, no two activities can have the same hash values. Activity, when I say, it may be adding or it may be opening, it may be double clicking, everything. So we call that activity as hash values. So the hash values are nothing but the encrypted algorithms. With the timestamp, it will be having it out. So we can tell when was the last hash value recorded from the device. Now, for example, at 10 o'clock, there is a bomb explosion which took place. 11 o'clock, the police arrives and they seize the digital devices there. So 1 o'clock, they present it to the forensic science lab. First thing the forensic science lab people do is they check something called what was the last access time. Because if they have accessed, a new hash value would have generated in the system. So how do they do that? They check it out. So here, what should be the last access time? Can anyone tell me? In this example, 10 o'clock, there was a bomb explosion. 11 o'clock, the police arrived. And 1 o'clock, they delivered it to the forensic science lab. So what should be the last activity of those devices? At what time?
Before 10 o'clock.
Exactly, before 10 o'clock. If there is any kind of activity or if there is any hash value post 10 o'clock, it is considered as the data is tampered. This is the beauty of it. But now here comes one more problem. In that case, if a police even turns on the device or by mistakenly access the device, also hash value gets recorded. So here itself, so police has to follow a procedure called, which they need to do. we call something called write protection. So for a device, we have two privileges usually, read and write. So there is a provision where you can write protect it. Write protect means you can only view the data, you cannot alter the data. You cannot even copy the data. You can do it through your computers, through mobiles, for everything. So that write protection has to be done, and the last access time should be recorded by the police also. Once they are handing over it to the FSL people, they will record it and tell this was the last access time recorded, and that has to be maintained as well. So that will be verified the first step with the FSL. Once that is done, then the immediate thing what the FSL people do is they do something called bitstream copies, or we say it as imaging and cloning. What is the difference between cloning and imaging? Can anyone tell me? We have heard about copying. What is the difference between cloning and copying? Is there a difference or both are the same?
There is a difference, sir. Copying means same to same. Where copying.
What do we mean by cloning then?
Suppose if we talk about like we have journals, right? Research journals. So we say one journal is a copy of another.
Okay.
So maybe some clone. There may be some difference, like in name, or often we say this journal is Scopus indexed. This is not. So
where do we say cloning? Examples.
In cloning, we can modify the contents.
Copying, can we not modify the contents?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Example?
Some kind of modification, customizations here.
Example, sir.
Copy as it is, like.
Example, sir.
Examples. For example, account clones. As per the customized.
Okay.
For example, we used to work in our systems like one person will prepare the lesson plan of the same subject.
Okay.
Somebody can clone it and he can modify according to him.
Okay. And if you are copying it, can't we do it out?
Yeah, copying also possible, but it is a tedious.
Tedious. Okay. Yeah, but okay. So the only difference between cloning and copying is cloning is related to hardware, copying is related to the software part. For example, I have a 32 GB pen drive and I have 8 GB content in it. So if I'm copying it out, it means I'm copying the 8 GB content in the pen drive. But if I'm cloning, it means that entire 32 GB, I am recreating it out. I'm recreating another pen drive. Clone. Human organs can be cloned, or the replacement or transplantation can take place for a same kind of a person, that is a cloned person. So here cloning is related to the hardware part. So here the thing what they do, the forensic science people, is they clone the devices, whichever devices which come to them. Why do they do that? Can anyone tell me? Why is it necessary?
To preserve the state of the device.
Correct. To preserve the state of the original device, because while doing analysis we may also modify or tamper or spoil the data. So that has to be preserved so that again it can be recovered. So that's why they do a cloned copy. It may be a mobile, it may be a laptop, it may be any kind of data, anything there. So if you are doing it as a physical cloned copy, then we require the exact same device. For example, if it is iPhone 13, you have to have another iPhone 13 itself. You can't do it in any other device. But if it is a logical extraction, what we do it out, so then we can do it in any kind of device. There also bit to bit simulation will be done there. So that is the first thing which they do. Then obviously they generate an hash file for it also. Once they do that, then comes, so we have done the three parts in the principles. First is identification, then is preserving, then is recovering. After imaging is nothing but recovering that. Then comes the final stage, that is analysis. So what do we mean by analysis? It's a bunch of softwares and hardware tools with drag and drop option where you use it for extracting the data in different forms. It may be added, it may be modified data, it may be deleted, it may be corrupted, any kind of things. So what are those? For example, these are the things. For example, cloning and imaging. Any kind of a device, you can make a cloned copy. So the tools are FTK Imager. There is one tool where you can do a cloning of any kind of device. I hope multiple speakers would have spoken about it and might be showing the demo also. So that's about cloning and imaging. Write protection. So, for example, what is write protection? Write protection is nothing but keeping the same state of the device so that no one accesses it and changes it out. There. How do we do that? For example, in your computers, you might have seen in your labs, no one can insert their pen drives and do any kind of activity. So what do? They do the USB port write protection, which means even if the pen drive is added, they can probably only view or even not even that also. So that only the write privileges are not given it. Only read privileges would be given. So how can you do that? There is softwares as well as hardwares for it. Then the third thing is data recovery or analysis. When we say data recovery, it may be deleted data, it may be corrupted data. So one question to all of you, can every data be recovered? The deleted data from any device?
Yes, sir.
Possible, sir.
Possible. So then if we delete any kind of data, then it should be, is it easily, not at least easily, is it really possible to recover the data?
Not 100%, but yes, to some extent we can recover.
Okay. So in deleted data, there is only one principle involved. What is that principle is? For example, if there is a file in D drive and it's a bunch of photos, you delete those photos. You can recover it until and unless before recovering in the D drive at that location, no other files should have been copied or pasted, which means no overlapping should have been done. If the overlapping is done, even the next moment also you cannot recover the data. If the overlapping is not done and if the device is properly maintained, you can recover it even after months also. So that's the only condition for data recovery. It may be mobile, it may be laptop, it may be cloud or anything. Yeah. So that's on data recovery. So we have tools like EaseUS data recovery software, as well as we have Recover software where you can you can recover your deleted data. Then comes mobile data analysis. Mobile data is, suppose the device is lost or it is damaged. So if it is a damaged device, screen is damaged, how to recover those data and analysis? It may be contacts, it may be files, it may be messages, or if you have forgotten the password. So all of these cases. So that's on the mobile data analysis. Next is audio video forensics. So why do we require audio video forensics? Can anyone tell why is audio video forensics required? In today's social media era, has become a very big necessity.
Evidence. Sir.
Evidence example for what? What kind of evidence?
Phone tapping.
Phone tapping is not forensics, audio video forensics. Forensics is always the post-mortem of a activity, not a future activity. Call tapping is a future activity.
To find out whether the audio video is real or it is manipulated.
Absolutely. For example, if a politician comes and says something and later disowns it, he or she says, I have not at all said this. Not only politician, it applies to many. I just gave an example for politician is evidently which is happening it out there. So to find out speaker identification, whether the same person has spoken it or not, or in a group, some people would have given some slogans to see whether and it might hear to us in a different way. So was this slogan given it in the same way, or if two audios are combined and made into one audio, or two videos are combined into and made one video. So these kind of things can be easily done using audio and video forensics. They can easily recover it out. There are plenty of tools for it also. So for video forensics, we use a tool called AMPED. For audio forensics, we use a tool called Sonic Visualizer. So for both, the principle lies the same. We use a scientific technique called histogram analysis. In histogram analysis, it clearly indicates and tells whether the audio is genuine or whether it is a uh, uh, tampered audio or a video, everything. Then comes incidence response. Incidence response is basically if there is any kind of disaster happened, for example, in corporate world, ransomware attack. Now, in entire network, we found that one device is affected. Very soon, for every 20 minutes, a new device in the network is getting affected. So, how do we respond to these kind of incidents? Is nothing but known as incidence response. Or if there is an attack completely happening on a critical infrastructures. What do we mean by critical infrastructure? For example, airports. There is complete someone who is trying to jam the signals or fly a drone in the airport environment. So what to do in that scenarios? These are all the things which comes under incident response tools. Here there are plenty of tools. For example, jammers are one of the tools for incident response. There is log analysis, plenty of things which they carry out in incident response. Then comes CDR analysis. CDR analysis is the only special
2 मिनट रुको सर,
privilege
ये
which is given to
ये
the
स्लाइड्स को कंप्लीट करना है, तो यहाँ तक पहुंचे तो इसको ये कंप्लीट हो जाएगा। हाँ, पैसे भी देंगे उसको।
CDR analysis, which means call detail records. You can even make it as IPDR also. So CDR analysis is nothing but the service provider. It will be Airtel, BSNL, Jio, Vodafone, anybody. So they will be having your entire data related to your mobile. It may be SMS, it may be calls, it may be location, everything. And they cannot share it to anybody apart from the law enforcement agencies. That is the first line of investigators. It may be police, it may be enforcement directorate, CBI, anybody of these people. So those people can do this CDR analysis. So what do we do in CDR analysis? For example, now recently in the Delhi blast case, all of you I think might be aware of it. In Delhi, there was a attempt of blast which happened. So how did they get to know the suspects? So what do they do is when the attack happened, that is when the explosion took place, 10 minutes prior that and 10 minutes post that, they took out all the phone numbers in that area within the 100-meter range. They got around nearly 90 lakhs of data. That is 90 lakh phone numbers. Now, entirely this has to be analyzed. What do we mean by analysis? Analysis is basically first they will do a filter. For example, within 10 seconds, if anyone has called within the location 10-meter distance, then there is a suspector. So like this, they have to alter, filter, and then they have to come to the suspect list of 7 people. So this is what they do it in something called CDR analysis. This is the first thing. Second thing, to find out location. You might seen in movies also, police can track anyone's location easily. It is not so easy, but the same concept. It is not as shown as so horribly in the movies as just in a movie screen where they can get to know. No, they will just get the geographical latitude and longitude of the last activity. If the phone is active, if the phone is switched off, even they cannot get to know that also. So that is on CDR. IPDR is the same thing today. Without SIM card, you can make calls, which we call it as VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. So those kind of things also, it will, instead of phone numbers, it's IP address. So the IP address has to be analyzed. So that is what is being done through CDR or IPDR. Then comes password recovery. Password recovery, it might be for a device, it might be for a network, it might be for a social media account, it might be for multiple things. So every passwords, we know that it will be stored in the memory of the device. So you'll have to know how to extract it. So there are plenty of tools which is used for every operating systems which can be cracked out. So that is nothing but on the password recovery tools. Now, all of this activity in different devices are different. And for Mac devices, it's purely again different. The architecture changes. So for Mac forensics, it's again a dedicated field here. So this is how they do the analysis on forensics here. Then the last step comes is presenting evidence as to the court. Just like how a doctor, you might have seen in movies, doctor does post-mortem and goes to court and says whether the cause of death was a suicide or a murder or an accident. Similar way here also, an expert has to, there is a forensic science person has to go and give an expert witness. There is a testimony, and then the court decides whether what is the punishment, each and everything. So these are the three stakeholders which they take place. For example of hard disk and cloning, this is how, as I shown in the image. So to clone a hard disk, you require the same kind of another hard disk. This is a device which is we use called ICS Solo 4. Similar way, this is a write protection tool for different types of ports. Now, why different types of ports has to be protected is not necessary from only USB port you can release the data. You can go to Google and check on Tempest attack. It's a new form of attack. The Tempest attack is nothing but, you might have seen in the recent day, couple of months ago, still in Israel and Gaza, there is a war happening. So what Israelis did is, that is with the Iran people, not the Gaza. When the Israeli people attacked, how did they attack is, they used a Tempest attack. I'm not speaking on the pager attack, the Tempest attack. What is Tempest attack is, so within the war camp where the commanders was giving a presentation to their team, that is the Iran commanders. So within the 50-kilometer range itself, Israeli spy agency agents, they had antennas. So through the antennas, they were presenting it through the normal projector through VGA cables. So there were antennas where from VGA it was projecting to the screen. So they could extract the data, and they found out. So this attack is known as Tempest attack. So this is because if there was data alteration, if there was write protection done, this attack could have been prevented. So this is what we require for write protection for every ports. We think only USB port or C-type port. There are multiple ports. For laptop, there is LAN, there is HDMI, there is VGA, there is charging port. Plenty of ports. Every ports, there is a high potential point where data can be recovered. There. Then comes mobile data analysis, similar kind of tools. So this was on cyber forensics. Now the another dimension of cyber forensics today is, there is a new domain itself, which a deep investigation takes place, deep crimes also take place, which we also call it as dark web and deep web. Can anyone tell me what is dark web or deep web? Heard about this?
Dark web, they will do illegal business, but we can't able to find their IP address.
We can't able to find the IP address. Okay. Yes. To some extent, the exact
Onion something they are using for IP address. Anonymous, they are doing the things. Onion layer.
Yes, anonymous. Okay. So to understand darknet and deep web, first thing what we need to understand is anonymous. Anonymous means hiding your identity without exposing. So in internet, you have multiple IDs to identify you. So one among them is IP address, second one is MAC, third one is SSID. There are plenty of IDs like this. So while communicating with other devices, these IDs are necessary, or else the communication doesn't happen. So you can hide this identity. That is only called the concept of anonymous. There are three ways of being anonymous. The basic ways I'm telling. The first way is known as proxy. What do we mean by proxy? For example, just go to the website called www.proxy.org, as shown in the screen. Once you go to this particular website, here there are plenty of websites. These are the IP addresses of different countries where you can purchase. So if you purchase this IP address, your original IP address will be hidden. Whenever you are doing any kind of logging activity, social media activity, it will not be, your original IP will not be visible at all. This IP will be visible. So this is the first way of being anonymous. The second way is known as VPN, that is virtual private network. In virtual private network, even the activities, what you do, what protocols are being used, that also will be completely anonymous. So no one can get to know whether it is your genuine protocol or IP which is you're using it out. That's the second way of being anonymous. The third way of being anonymous is using a browser called Tor browser. TOR, which means the onion routing browser. So this is also a browser just like Google Chrome or Firefox. So what does this do? In Google Chrome or Firefox, you just go enter google.com. You'll get it as Google India. If you refresh it, it will be again Google India. But in Tor browsers, you go enter google.com, it will be Google India. But if you refresh it, it will become Google America. Again, you refresh it, it will become Google Africa. Every second, for example, in a minute, you get around 30 to 50 IP addresses. So no one can track your IP address at all. So this is the major reason why cyber criminals are not caught, because it's almost impossible to trace a person. So this is the foundation for darknet or deep web. Now coming to what is darknet or deep web. Darknet and deep web is an layer in the internet. Internet can be divided into multiple layers. So as shown in the screen, the multiple layers are nothing but surface web, deep web, and dark web. Now let's understand for as deep web and dark web as the same. So there are two layers, surface web and dark web. So what is surface web is anything which you can access with your normal resources is considered as surface web. Now what do you mean by normal resources? Normal computers, normal search engines, normal browsers, normal email accounts, normal internet. So that is known as surface web, where every one of us are using. So in a research, again, no proven research, but it is again a estimated, or we can say it as it has been a rumor also, or we don't know whether it is a fact, but it has been estimated that 95% is considered as dark web in internet, only 5% is surface web. So to access dark web or deep web, you need special resources. Now, what are those special resources? Let's look into it. So first thing on special resources is you should understand what is the major principle in this dark web or deep web is your anonymity. You will be completely anonymous. Till 2013, this was just a concept on paper. But in 2013, in a drug investigation, drug trafficking investigation, it was found that there was a route called Silk Road by Chinese, where they were using it out. That is how we got to know that is a proof of darknet. In India, the first registered case was in 2018 of darknet. Yeah. So this was a first case. Now, we can't blame the technology as the culprit here. Again, as I said, technology is just like a knife. It can be used for cutting fruits as well as for cutting humans also. So here, is it advantage or a disadvantage? Can anyone tell me what is the advantage of darknet or anonymity? Is there any advantage?
Sir, for military purpose, security.
Yes, one of the security is the privacy purpose. Apart from that,
I know this much, sir. Otherwise, for darknet, it is used for illegal activity only.
legal activity, yes. So the major one more reason of anonymity is, or darknet advantages, whistleblowers. What are or who are whistleblowers? What is whistleblowing or who are whistleblowers? How many of you are hearing it for the first time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Whistleblowers are nothing but the people who reveal information of their system without exposing identity. For example, you might have seen in movies, some people will expose some government information to some in the public without revealing their name. There are plenty of informations which come out without knowing who it is. Even in our income tax department, there is a witness protection scheme for whistleblowers, which means you can go and report anybody's data which you find it as illegal. They will not reveal your name for your safety. So this is known as whistleblowing. So darknet is one of the best platforms for whistleblowing. Every kind of secrets, it is on national to international to multinationals, secrets have been exposed, but we don't know who has exposed it out. The biggest example is you can take our political leaders itself from past three elections, 2014, 19, 24. Their affidavits are changing, election affidavits. Why? Because new secrets are being exposed. There. So that is the advantage. That is whistleblowing, secure communication. That is for national, it may be for national security purpose or even for private security purpose also. Then it is the secure communication which take place. So now who uses darknet comes into picture. So who uses darknet? It's very simple. Whoever has the special resources can access it out. It may be police, it may be law enforcement, it may be politicians, it may be journalists, it may be academicians, anybody, even it might be a common man also. But the only criteria is they have to have the special resources. Now let's look into what are the special resources. But before that, even we have to see what are the disadvantages. Is only these things happening? Not at all. So what are the things which are happening? For example, it may be doxing of VIPs, or it may be any source code leakages of any kind of product, or it may be any kind of databases. Each and everything is available here. You go and make a demand in darknet, that there are people who are ready to execute it out. What are those execution? It may be murder for hiring, blackmail, drug sales, arms sales, sex trafficking, terrorism, pornography, plenty of things. So India's first darknet case, as I mentioned, it was in 2018. Now coming is how to access darknet, or what are the special resources to access darknet. The first special resource to access darknet is having an access to onion networks. Our service providers Airtel, BSNL, Jio internet will not be possible. We'll have to purchase an onion network. That is the first resource which you need to have it out. Then the second resources, you need to have a special email providers. Normal email providers will not work. Your Gmail, Hotmail, Zoho Mail, or any kind of Outlook emails will not work. You need to subscribe and purchase these special emails for communication. Then the third special resources, you need to have a special search engines. Normal search engines like Google will not work. You need to have special search engines. Now, to purchase all of this, you need to have a special currency also. Here comes the new currency, that is cryptocurrencies. So what are cryptocurrencies? Can anyone tell me what is a cryptocurrency?
Digital
Heard about it?
Digital exchanging data, sir.
Digital exchanging data. Then if we exchange any, then every email should be considered as a cryptocurrency. Is UPI a cryptocurrency?
No, sir.
Yes. Okay. What is a cryptocurrency?
Digital money.
Digital money. UPI is digital money or not?
UPI is digital money, but cryptocurrency is encrypted data, I think.
Even the digital transactions which we do is encrypted. The UPI transactions.
No, sir.
So what is the difference between the real currency and digital currency? So to understand cryptocurrencies, we need to understand three things. What is the difference between digital currency? What is the difference between virtual currency? And what is cryptocurrency? So first coming into, we should understand what is currency. To understand currency, we need to understand the difference between assets and medium. What is an asset? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by asset?
Asset may be any device or a software or a hardware which is connected to the internet.
Okay, but then is every device which is connected to internet considered as asset? I'm asking even practically, not only digitally. What do we call anything? How do we consider anything as an asset?
Which has
Anything which has some
Anything for
intrinsic value.
any value.
Yes. So asset is something where the physical quantity will not differ, but the value, intangible value increases. For example, gold. Gold physically it will never change or grow, but the value for gold, the money will increase. So that's considered as asset, or land is considered as an asset there. So medium is nothing but where you use it for transactions. So cryptocurrency is another form of medium or crypto. When we say crypto network, first we were using barter. Barter system was exchange of rice for wheat or anything what we had to not what we didn't have it out. Then came something called coinage where we were using gold and silvers. Then came something called notes. Then came something called banking system. Then came internet banking. Similar way, this is a crypto. So in crypto, there is an advantage. What is the advantage is, for example, if anyone gives you 100 rupees note, which we call it as fiat currency, there is a physical currency, 100 rupees note. So we don't know that 100 rupees note from the time where it was printed to the time where you received it, where and all did the 100 rupees note travel. We can never get to know that at all. But if it is a crypto, what we can do is we can add a hash value from one point to another point. Suppose you printed it and you are sending it to the next person. Then you can add a hash value. Similar way, we can trace back the source itself through this crypto. This is what is the basic principle of blockchain as well. So now coming to asset and medium. So why asset and medium difference we had to know, because there is three things: digital currency, virtual currency, and cryptocurrency. First coming to virtual currency. Virtual currencies are nothing but your UPI, that is Phone Pay, Google Pay. These are all mediums. Virtual currency is a medium. For example, if I transfer 10 rupees, a person A transfers 10 rupees to person B through Phone Pay or Google Pay. So it means that on behalf of that person, the bank transfers the fiat currency also physically. So this is a medium, that is your UPI. It is a medium. So that is nothing but known as virtual currency. Now coming to digital currency. Digital currency is an asset. So what do we mean by asset? Just like gold, where the quantity will not change, but the value will increase. For example, Indian government has released something called CBDC, Central Banking Digital Currency. So just like gold bonds, how you take, similar way they issue something called digital currency, 1 rupee, 5 rupees. Equivalent amount you need to purchase. So today it's 1 rupee, it may increase also. So that is an asset, digital currency. There is something called digital currency. If all of you have SBI account, so there is an app called e-Rupee where you can install it and purchase it out, which is known as digital currency. Now coming to cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is both asset as well as a medium. Now this is the biggest problem. When there is no government involved, both the things will be same. If government is involved, there will be a clear classification. So crypto, difference between crypto and our UPI is government control. Who controls it? If government controls it, then it can be considered as a legitimate one. So in future, definitely this is gonna come. This will be there. But government should be having the control. It should not be with another persons. That is only cryptocurrencies are. So to purchase our assets in darknet, that is what are the assets? that is an onion network or email providers and search engines, we require cryptocurrencies. Now, is cryptocurrency trading or purchasing, is it legal or illegal in India?
It is illegal.
Is illegal. Okay.
India
So
has not legalized it.
till 2020, it was legally banned by RBI. But from 2020, Supreme Court has uplifted it. Today, restaurants are there. There is a bank also, crypto bank also. Even our national banks have also started this. So, crypto trading is absolutely legal. Government is taxing on it. In the budget, if you can see also, recently also it has been given it out. Government is taxing on it. So it means it is completely legal. So, but what you do with that currency is again suspected. You cannot go purchase arms, you cannot go purchase drugs on it. So these are the three laws which are subjected: Payment and Settlements Act, Money Laundering Act, and Unregulated Deposit Schemes. This is the fourth resource which you require to have. Then the final resource which you need to have is blade servers. What are blade servers? Blade servers are high configuration computing systems where you'll have remote access. You don't know where the computer exists, but you can use that computer from your devices by connecting it. So it will be like 128 GB RAM, high configuration systems. It will be in different country itself. So all of this together, five resources: blade servers, cryptocurrency, search engines, email providers, and onion networks. If you have all of this, then it's possible to access darknet and deep web. So this was a basic understanding. So here, if you go and demand anything, for example, you want some WhatsApp hacking of an account, there are people who do it out and give you code. They give you softwares that is called zero-day vulnerabilities also here. So there are plenty of examples if you go on searching. So if you are more interested, I have given documentaries and movies which is on real life scenario based here. You can have a look at it to understand it much more deeper. So this is a clear concept on darknet and deep web. So now coming to our the next thing, how to prevent ourselves from cyber crimes. Basic. We call this as digital literacy. Though we are academically literate, though we are linguistically literate, we are not digitally literate at all. There is digital illiteracy among us. How do we do that? Let's prove ourselves. Let's do something called sanity checks. So what are sanity checks is just like how we find out our fitness by undergoing a medical test and finding out what is the physical state of our body. Similar way here also we can do sanity check and find out how secure are we digitally and how exposed we are. Let's try doing it out one by one. I'll go on noting it down. You can note it down. Anyhow, the recording is there. You can even anytime access it out. So the first thing is, all of you have smartphones today. How to check whether your smartphones are being hacked or not? So very simple. First, you need to just open your dial pad and enter the command or enter the code star hash 62 hash. If you enter it, you will get a response. Just like how your human body will not tell whether you have cancer or you don't have cancer. Doctor will analyze based on the behavior. If they take a blood sample, they will see platelet count or RBC or any kind of things. Similar way, here also you will have to analyze the response. So three things you need to analyze with this particular code's response. The first thing is once you enter this code, you will get something called forwarding options. Irrespective of any phones, it may be Airtel, it may be iPhones, it may be Android phones, anything. So here, first thing is call forwarding and voice forwarding is fine. These two things can be in forwarding state. Call and voice is fine. I repeat, call forwarding and voice forwarding is absolutely fine. But apart from call and voice, no other things should be in forwarding status. It may be SMS, it may be fax, it may be video, anything. All other things should be not forwarding status or disabled status. This is the first thing which you need to observe. Second thing which you need to observe is, apart from call and voice, some of you might have got call forwarding and one number. For example, it might be plus 81234. This is also fine. Some of you might have not got number after call forwarding, immediately voice forwarding. That is also fine. Either no number or one number is fine. But if you get more than one number, just like call forwarding 81234, and below that you get again plus 87234 or anything like this, then it is a clear indication that your calls are being compromised. Now, the third observation which you need to do is, these two are the present status which is connected to your nearest tower. So if you move from here 1 kilometer, again the status changes. So whenever you are in public places, malls, railway stations, airports, repeat the 1 and 2 steps again and again, and verify whether your your phones are being hacked or not. So this is the way how to check whether your phones are being hacked or not. So this is the first way. Next, the second valuable asset in our digital life is our emails. How to know whether our emails are being hacked or not? I think multiple speakers would have covered this part at least. Go to a website called Have I Been Pawned? So if you just go to this particular website, Have I Been Pawned? So just go and enter the email address here. Just enter your email address and click on check. Those who get the response in green color, it means that they are safe. Those who get the response in red color, it means their emails or credentials are shared out. So I've got the green color status. Those who have got red color, just go down. It will show which website has also breached your data. Now, what to do in this case? So there are three ways where you can secure your email. So the first way is, go to settings and enable in your Gmail, enable two-factor authentication. If you have already done, well and good. If you have not done, please enable this two-factor authentication. What is this two-factor authentication? Because today passwords are outdated. So no passwords can be safe. So to avoid that, so we use this technique. What is two-factor authentication is, you add your phone number there. Every time you enter a password, an OTP is sent to your device. Once you enter that OTP within that time frame only, you will get access, or else you will not get access at all. So this is the two-factor authentication which you need to enable. Second thing is, use an app called Google Authenticator. So what is Google Authenticator? It's an app where it generates passcodes for you, a 6-digit passcode every 10 seconds for you, whether you use it or you don't use it. So whenever you're logging in a new device, it will ask for this passcode. You have to enter it in 10 seconds. If it is any other hacker, they will not know this passcode. They cannot get it out also. So this is the best way where you can secure it out. Then the third way is, you can use a hardware called YubiKey. Suppose you are heading an institution, you have YouTube account, you have institution's email account. You can't take care of your accounts. So you can use this hardware key. What does this hardware key do? Nothing but you can configure your Gmail or your any kind of email or your banking accounts to this, a piece of hardware just like a pen drive. So if you insert this device only, you can access your account, or else you cannot access your account at all. This is known as YubiKey. So this is the maximum security which you can take care for your emails. Next, the third valuable asset is our laptops or desktops. How to know whether our laptops or desktops are being hacked or not? Very simple. Just open your command prompt. Go to search and enter CMD. A small black screen window comes here as shown in the screen. Just enter the command netstat, which means network statistics, netstat. It will show you the list of connections which are connected to your computer. If your laptop or desktop has to be hacked, it has to be connected through a remote computer. That's the only possibility. So you can check here which are the computers which are connected to your system, and you can verify whether these are authorized connections or not. Very simple on it. So this is on your third asset. Then the fourth asset very important one is, which is your social media. Any social media, whichever you use, it may be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, LinkedIn, whatever, the method lies the same, but you need to just choose the path properly. What you need to do is it's a tedious process itself. Any account, just go to the settings option. In settings, you'll have hundreds of options in settings. So there you need to search for an option called download your copy. You will get a option called download your copy. If you click on this option, what happens is a file will be downloaded to your registered email. So in the registered email, your log files of your past 3 to 6 months with the location, time, and geography, it will show where and all you have accessed it. You can verify whether that at that particular time you were present there or not. If you are not present, definitely not. Your account is not hacked. It is safe. If you are present, then it means you are safe. So this is how you can find out on your social media. Then the fifth asset is today's spam calls, or you have suspicion on any particular phone numbers. If you get a call, either you'll have to, spam calls, you'll have to block it or not receive it or cut the call. So if you get it repeatedly, what can you do? Just go to a website called Chakshu, CHAKSHU. Go to this particular website called Chakshu portal. This is a Government of India portal service by Department of Telecom. So just go here, you can report a suspected fraud number. This doesn't mean that you report anybody's number, it will be blocked or anything. If you have a suspicion and you report it, they have a due diligence process. They see if multiple people have reported it, then they will immediately take an action on that particular phone number and they will block it out. So if it is a spam number, automatically it will be blocked. So this is how you can look into it. Next, today access to credit is very important. There are plenty of people who provide financial services apart from our banks. So how to know whether they are really genuine or not? So to find out or to know whether they are really genuine or not, go to a website called Sachet by RBI. RBI has a website called Sachet. So just go to this particular website called Sachet and file a complaint or try to find out about that particular company who are providing financial services. It will clearly tell if they have any cases on them or if they are frauds or anything. Clearly you can save yourself from being the victim of this. This is on financial services. Next, every one of us are using today Aadhaar card for authentication and authorization. How many of you have linked your Aadhaar cards to your mobile number? Can you please raise your hands? How many of you have linked to multiple phone numbers? How many of you know that other people have linked your Aadhaar to their numbers or not? So just because you might have given your Aadhaar card at plenty of places, what is the proof that they have not used it for other purposes? So just go to the website called TAFCOP, TAFCOP. If you go to this particular portal, here you can just go and check with your mobile number and your Aadhaar number how many mobile numbers are linked. And there is an option for delinking if that number doesn't belong to you. So kindly check it out. This is the best way to check whether your Aadhaar is being misused or not. Similar way, how to find out what to do in case if the phone is lost, because your data might be crucial. Before 5 years, if a phone is lost out of 100 phones, one phone getting back technically also it was impossible. It may be a politician's phone, it may be a policeman's phone, anybody's phone. But today, out of 100 phones, 30 to 40 phones, we are getting it back. So if your phone is lost, what you need to do, go to a website called CEIR. That is Central Equipment Identity Registrar. Just go to this particular website. So once you go to this particular website, so you need to upload 3 documents here. What are the 3 documents? One is your government ID, that is your Aadhaar. Second thing is your mobile bill, that's your invoice where it shows that phone belongs to you. Third thing, a police complaint. These three things, once you give it out, within 48 hours, the phone will be blocked. Nobody can access your data at any point of time. So your data is completely safe. Similar way, today in India, two cyber crimes are very, very strict. One is cyber terrorism and one more is child pornography. All of us know how to avoid ourselves from terrorism. It's very evident that our culture itself, we know how to stay away from it. But child pornography, today, since there is no proper sex education, at least for our generation, which when we were raised, and today digital devices are in our hands, our kids' hands, and internet is so cheap in terms of economical cost. So we don't know who is browsing what kind of data can access our systems, because we don't know what kind of WhatsApp forwards we will get. In India, in child pornography is a non-bailable offense. If there is anyone watching it, if there is anyone storing it, if there is anyone creating it, if there is anybody's device where the video has been traveled, it's non-bailable. They can put you in jail for 6 months, and you cannot even ask them why you have put me in jail. Such as criminal offense it is. So how do you avoid yourself from being victim of this? Because if anyone can send you a video, and how to avoid yourself from this? Suppose you have seen any child pornographic video, either in your device or your kid's device or in any device, the immediate thing what you need to do is go to a website called Cyber Tip Line. So if you go to this particular website, you can immediately report it out there so that you will be safe. So that's the best way where you can safeguard yourself. Similar way, especially for women's, you might have seen your photos might be leaked or morphed. Someone might have created your duplication of pictures. So in that case, what to do? Someone is harassing or someone sends you messages or anything. Just go to a website called Stop NCAA and just put your image, report and put your image, create your case and put it out. In 24 hours, wherever your images are there in social media, entire internet, it will be taken down in at least India. This is an absolute new initiative by Government of India. All of this which I mentioned is Government of India. Government is very, very proactive in this. There. The only thing is people are unaware of it. We have to be literates, digitally literates, in order to prevent ourselves from being victims. Similar way, you might get any file which is malicious to your phones or emails or WhatsApp or anything. So how to know whether a file is malicious or not? Just download that file. Don't open the file. By downloading the file, nothing happens, but don't open the file. Once you download the file, go to the website called virustotal.com and upload the file. Once you upload it, it will tell whether it is a malicious file or not. Similar way, if you get a link, it may be phishing link. How to know whether the link is malicious or not? Just go to a website called Expand URL. So if you go to this particular website, it will clearly tell whether that link which you have pasted is malicious or not, clearly. Similar way, I think all of you have today mobile phones. If I ask you the question, how many of you brought your phones first hand, not second hand phones? Please raise your hands. I think every one of you are raising your hands. I'll ask you a second question. What is the proof that how do you believe that is not been used before? How do you believe that company people have not refurbished a phone and given to you? So very important when you are purchasing new phones. There is something called KYM, Know Your Mobile portal. So please go to this particular portal and just enter your IMEI number before purchasing. Once you enter your IMEI number, it will clearly tell whether your handset was previously activated or not. Be aware, just don't believe whatever the company people, Apple or Android people tell to you, or the people or the stores where you purchase from. Here. Similar way, you might be having Wi-Fi services. At least today, whoever are watching from your home, if you have Wi-Fi services, how do you know? Because if the Wi-Fi service provider who is providing you internet, if they do crime, it will come on you because they are the ones who's giving you IP addresses. So how to know whether they are genuine? Go to a portal, something called KYI, Know Your ISP. That's an registry log where it will show your service provider's name and whether they have any history of any criminal cases or not. Just enter your PIN code, you will get it out. You should know who is your service provider and what they are providing. Yeah. Similar way, if you get any calls from your number, from international numbers, what to do in such case? Go to the website called RICWIN and report it out. Government of India will take care and will make sure that that number will not be called to anybody others. Yeah. Then the last one I would say and conclude my session. Then I'll take up questions. If there is any cybercrime, any assistance or anything, you have lost money or you have seen others losing money, there is a national toll-free number called 1930. Kindly call them. They will immediately assist you. So these are all the ways how you can do sanity checks. Please do this very often. And the last one again, how to know whether your phones are bugged or hacked or not. That is your devices. Just go to the website called Cyber Swachhata Kendra. And go to the option called Security Tools as shown in the screen. And just download these free bot removal tools and do a scan on your devices. It may be laptops, it may be mobiles. If there are any malware files also, it will scan and throw it out. So please do all these activities very often. It will hardly take 10 minutes. It hardly took me 10 minutes exactly to show you all. So if you do it, don't think it's a very complex thing. Do it every 24 hours or 48 hours once. I can assure you, you can never be a victim of cybercrime. So I would like to conclude my session. I'll be happy to take up questions. If you have any doubts, any queries, anything you want me to repeat or anything, please, you can just enter it in the comment section or ask me to, or unmute yourself and communicate.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, could you please share whatever the commands you have tried now for the security purpose in a notepad, and can you please share it, sir?
Sure, ma'am. I'll do it out. Definitely.
Okay. Thank you, sir. It was a very informative session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, I like to give some feedback about today's session. You save our life because even if having the educational experience around huge experience, we don't know the such commands and what government is doing for the common people. And I think after your session, definitely all these commands will save the many lives regarding to the cyber crime, cyber hacking, or simple Aadhaar card connecting to our mobile number, or have your email ID it's hacked by someone. All these things means all educated people thinking that we are very smart, but after listening this session, people may know that how much we don't know. So I am very much thankful for that.
Yes, ma'am. That's the only sole intention, that every one of us have to be digitally literates. That's the only way where we can avoid ourselves from being victims. We, as well as our kids or anyone today, that becomes a moral responsibility for us. Until unless we are not aware, we will not be safe. Whatever the government does, whatever the technology is advanced, whatever future high expensive gadgets we have, will never save us. There, the only awareness will save us.
Definitely,
Yes,
we are
sure.
completely aware now.
Yes, sir. It was a very wonderful session. Sir, why actually doesn't the government aware common people about what you like, just what you told in 10 minutes? I think common people don't know it, right?
Sir, government is a reflection of our society, sir. Government is doing absolutely everything. For example, if we see even a normal ad or advertisement coming, government ad, we automatically skip the video in YouTube or we change the channel in the TV. It is government is doing from their end. It is again our participation which we need to extend there. There. Once we do that, I think it will be very much helpful. There. Government is on their track, sir. Again, the more and more active we are, government
Yeah,
can be more and more
like information is not reaching to the common masses, right? That's the point.
It's a
Though we are
high-populated country, sir.
literate, but not like digitally literate,
True,
right?
true.
Yeah,
True,
that's
sir.
my
That is
point
one of
actually.
the.
Sir, I have one innovative idea like this. Ki nowadays, all our youngsters are having the social media. So all participants who are attending this FDP can have a reel of the 10-second, 15-second, at least for the five commands that sir has explained. So definitely, youth also get aware about that. Ki that much simple command can save their life and all these things. Because social media is the very powerful media for youngster.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. The more thing is every year, I mean, you people, at least as a faculties, you'll be having access to thousands of students. At least if thousands of students are being known, at least definitely they will not be a victims in futures. That's the sole intention.
So from last 3 to 4 years, I was teaching this subject now. So I give the as an internal assessment like this key when you teach this subject, at least from your society and at least from your relative, you have to take a aware about that your child means small children, those are using the mobile phone, and senior citizen, they are using the mobile phone. Are they only just clicking the links? ये इतना उनको पढ़ाया तो भी काफी है कि it is outcome of our subject.
Very true, ma'am. Very true.
Sir, I have one question now. You have discussed about social media, everything. So you have not touched the financial sector like online banking or GPay or PhonePe. Are there secure ones, sir?
Absolutely, completely secure, ma'am. They are government.
Okay.
That's the only in India. Only 3 people are actually following security very strictly. One is
Okay.
RBI enforcing it to the banks. One more is the
Okay.
SEBI through the stock
Okay.
markets, and the third one is the insurance regulated authority. These are the 3 people who are very strict on this. Today, at
Okay,
least if you
sir.
go to banks, every 3 months they will have an audit of their
Yes,
IT
sir.
assets.
Yeah, yes.
So that's how
Like
we
how
are safe.
we are using GPay, like now to access our this other link, all those you have said some commands, right? So is there
Yes,
is
ma'am.
any commands to check our financial, I mean, whatever our digital
No, that's very
things?
easy, right, ma'am? The only thing is very easy is whether if balance is gone, then only it's mean it is hacked, or else no other things. So
Before
that's
that only, there is any way to.
there is no way as of now, at least, ma'am. At least because there is no such a necessity. Because government also comes out if there is any kind of activity or if any kind of incident takes place in such level. There.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Samarth sir. On behalf of all the Institute of Engineering and Technology and all of us, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Samarth Bhaskar for delivering such an insightful and thought-provoking session, hands-on session, especially on digital forensics. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
one
sir.
and all. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.